This is Ben Keys, and you're listening to the Crowject podcast.
Here's Gill. Oh, look, this might go through. It could be the ugliest goal we've ever seen. Oh, yeah, it's magnificent. That's not in the textbook, but it's his third.
To win showdown 51. Kicks from 45. Starts right, but it's coming back. The Crows win. It's a miracle.
Walker needs to kick accurately, and he has. Oh, what a lift of the excitement machine, McLeod. Left foot goal. He's a superstar.
All right, thank you to Nathaniel's Coffee and Panini and Trojan Aluminium. This is the Crowject not grand final recall, it's a live recall. Anyway, yeah, everyone clap. Yeah. Oh, wow, what a lively crowd here at the Art Bar Hotel. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. So I have a veritable myriad of commentators next to me too, but first I have the great man himself, Ray. Ray, how are you?
Good, mate. How are you? Excited for the game. Big one. MCG. Bulldogs, Adelaide, Elimination final.
Yeah, it doesn't get any bigger than this, other than the other games that are coming for the rest of 2015 season. Benny Mack, how are you, my man?
Very well, and Ray alluded to everything, so I have nothing further to add on the game.
All right, and special comments, we've got the guys from the Muppets over in the corner as well. We've got Damon, how are you, mate?
I'm very well, mate. How are you?
Yeah, good, mate, good. Layden?
Yeah, how you going?
Yep, right. So,
did you want us to speak on this, by the way, or just, short,
the
sharp, and
boundary
shiny?
riders.
With the boundary riders.
Yeah, you're the boundary riders.
We give updates on the weather.
Yeah, so
You're good at that.
Sal's already given us the weather from the crowd as well, and said it's going to be clear skies tonight. And
Shepherd's Delight in the morning.
well, there would be delight of some other kind, but she alluded to that later. So you can see the Western Bulldogs are coming out of their banner at the present time. They've got the little kiddly winks as well. Ray, what do you make of the crate?
Well, the banner put together wasn't great. It had splits in it. You know, you can't run through a split banner.
That's
See,
true.
this is why you need to know about the wind.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
you know.
And actually, Ray, I would argue that it's much easier to run through a split banner than it is, say, a brick banner.
It's not as theatrical.
I see what you mean. Okay.
Yeah.
see
Thanks
that-
for the boundary riding weather report on the wind, by the way, before I said that.
Yeah, it's a bit blustery up here in the grandstands as well. But Benny Mack, what'd you make of Luke Beveridge's fit tonight?
Look, it's a very tight shirt he's got on at the moment. He's clearly very happy about the chest area and the arm area. I think good on him, really. Just keep it up, Bevo.
Yeah, do you reckon Lingy and Beveridge got the same hairdresser as in they don't have one?
Hey, they found a look 15 years ago and they stuck with it. That's commitment.
Now, do you think Lingy will bring up Talia and the brothers to Beveridge?
I'd be more looking at an over or underline of how many times they've brought up in this match, to be honest.
What's the line?
Well,
Yeah.
well, could you guys ask them as they come off the ground? Because you're down at the boundary.
Yeah, absolutely. I tried, but they just pushed straight past us shouting, no comment, no comment, and one of them put a jacket up over his head.
Yeah. Well, that's the nature of things in Melbourne. Anyway, we've got the Crowies coming out onto the ground as well with a Dangerfield. He ain't going anywhere, I think. So, Ray, who do you think is going to be the biggest performer for us today?
Or look, you can't go past Eddie Betts, but I do love me some Riley Knight. You can't trust someone that good looking and that tough.
Yeah. I think he's got a lot of potential.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of it. Charlie Cameron also. He could be a standout in this game. Ben, who are you looking forward to? Who's been a performer this year for the Crows?
Look, I'm looking at David McKay, the super sub, tonight. I think he could put in a performance here.
The golden ticket.
Indeed, and he's primed. He's a September specialist, David McKay, I reckon. He's probably never played in a finals series at this point, but he's ready.
And we've got Taylor Walker coming out, clearly been in the sauna for the last week or so, looking a little bit crispy. But Damon, who do you think is going to be the biggest performer for the Crowies tonight?
Well, mate, I could talk about the big performance on the night, or also I could talk about some of the guys that are just thankful to be at home watching, frankly. The names of Sam Siggins, Jack Osborne, a future star in the making, Mitch Brackets McGovern, and a young man who I'm sure has got a career in front of him, Anthony Wilson. They're all sitting in their couches at home.
yes.
They're all household names, aren't they, everybody here?
They sure are.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, everyone knows
the
them.
crowd goes wild.
Yes, but no, I'm looking forward to a good North Adelaide boy, Matthew Wright, having a good game today. If he's been selected, I've not done my homework.
All right.
A couple of big ins for this game for the Crows.
There we go.
Cut me
Oh,
off.
hang on.
We missed the cut.
Oh.
Ugh.
Professionalism.
They're the Cinderella story of the AFL world for this finals campaign, unfazed by the mountains they've climbed, riding on a wave of emotion to the finals. The main man leading them into battle, a first-year captain who has had a baptism by fire, now the field general for the Adelaide Football Club with an eye for the goals and a passion for the team he leads. There's a superstar forward line in the Adelaide attack with a host of stars including the runner-up in the Coleman Medal, the man with a freakish ability to kick goals, and a fan favourite nationwide. The man who has come from the clouds with beautiful rucking skills and patrols the 10-metre square like an eagle hunting prey. In the midfield, the leading men in the Adelaide ground machine include a ball-hawking midfielder eyeing off another All-Australian year. And in the backfield, a ferocious fullback with a nose for the ball. After an emotional night around, can the Crows go one step further in 2015? We'll find out next, right here on the Crowject.
Wow. All off the top of your head, Peter.
Yeah, exactly.
Well
And I was
done.
drinking at the same time while I did that voiceover. Anyway, you are looking live at the MCG tonight for the 2015 Elimination Final between the Adelaide Crows and some bald guys come onto the screen. I forgot to cut this out. And the Western Bulldogs as well. We've got Ray O'Hara, Ben McLean, Damon Evans, and Leighton Ashwell on the call as well. My name's Peter Srocco, I think. And thank you to Nathaniel's Coffee and Panini and Trojan Aluminium for sponsoring us. And of course, our amazing patrons as well who are here tonight. Yeah! So we're doing this live from the Arkabar Hotel tonight, but thank you so much to our amazing Patreons too, and this is a part of our live recall as well. Oh, time for the National Anthem. Everyone, please rise. I'm kidding, you don't have to. No, Sal, please sit down. Oh, God. So it's all going to be happening. Hopefully the audio cuts in at some point.
MCG.
Oh, thank God.
Would you now please join with the coaches, players and umpires as we stand for the Australian National Anthem.
Good.
It really should be in order as well. Campo's thinking about Tarali right now. Alright. See, I love it in the National Anthem. They always go too quick on one side or the other. They never time the camera properly.
Yeah.
See, they've gone a bit too slow.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
Now it's racing to get down to Bevo.
Yeah. They've done around Beveridge.
Something I will say about Bevo, he always makes sure his polo shirt is tucked neatly into his slacks.
Yeah, we love good slacks here on the Crowject. So, Ray, who's your tip for tonight and by how much, even though we know what's going to happen?
I'm taking Crom by 5 points. It's going to be a close one.
Going to be a close one. Leading goal kicker?
I'm going to go with Texan.
The big Tex. Benny Mac.
Yeah, I think the Crows in a tight one. We'll go with 10 points and we'll go something a little bit different. Charlie Cameron to step up and kick the most goals in this one.
All right. And yourself, Damon?
I'm going to go with a draw.
Yeah.
Just because the man to my right was itching to say it, so I thought I'd jump in first. There you go.
And what about from the floor? Anyone want to call out some score predictions? Okay.
All right. I think the main.
Thanks for your engagement.
We don't have to abuse them right now.
I think the main thing I'm going to be keeping my eye out for are the umpires. So tonight
Here we
we've
go,
got
here we go.
Matthew Nicholas,
Yeah.
Brendan Hoskin, and Justin Smith.
Ooh.
So they'll be making their case for the grand final.
All masters
They've all
of their craft.
umpired over 20 games this season.
Look, Matthew Nichols is a notoriously horrible umpire. The
Yeah.
bald, shiny-headed man.
Yeah, keep an eye out for him.
Keep an eye out for him. He'll make sure you see him.
All right. And we've got Robert Murphy. We're clearly a real estate agent who's ready to toss the coin as well. He's wearing his Chestnut R.M. Williams.
Isn't that Kyle Cheney about to toss the coin?
Oh, it's probably his person who's going to teach him. And no, the Bulldogs have won, and they are kicking to the right of screen. And the crowd goes wild in the clearly edited Adobe Audition audio. Ray, who is going to be the leading goal kicker for the Bulldogs as well?
The Bulldogs, I was going to pick the package, but how can you like anyone that gives themselves their own nickname? So I'm going to go Cramery for the Bulldogs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, sort of like their own nickname like Dragon, but we won't talk about that. That's about 7 years in the future. Benny Mac,
Let's roll with Lin Jong to
Yes.
snag a couple.
That's a good shout.
That's a good shout.
I would have picked Luke Dowhouse, but he's fresh on hearing the news that One Direction are about to break up in November, so he's going to be down.
He's going to be down. One day it's going to be big. Now, Damon.
From now on, I'd like to be referred to as Ace. I just think it sounds cool.
Ace Cordy or?
Oh, I hadn't even thought of that. That's devastating. I'll go with young man Easton Wood to kick the most goals somehow from the back pocket.
He's done well.
All right, with 30 seconds to go, Leighton, who's your pick, my man?
Yeah, it's got to be my favourite player, Rory Atkins.
Oh, dear.
That's a name.
All right, well, Benny Mac, it's 20 seconds to go, so it's over to you for the start of the call, my man.
Absolutely, and we are primed for a great game of football here this Saturday night at the MCG. A bit of argy-bargy by Jake Stringer into Daniel Talia. A very young Marcus Bontempelli and big shiny-headed Matthew Nichols will bounce the ball down to start this one. So the two ruckmen go at it, and Sam Jacobs wins the first tap down to Dangerfield. They converge as a pack here, and no one's getting that one out, so we'll ball it up in the exact same spot. As you can see, the subs for tonight, David McKay and Caleb Daniel, as the ball goes back up again. It bumps around there. Sloan tries to get a kick. He can't. He's tackled.
Good smother by Wallace.
Absolutely a good smother by Wallace. The ball is bobbling around everywhere to Bontempelli, who hacks it forward towards the 50 for the Dogs. Microphone head can't pick it up there, and it's dragged into the bottom of the pack. Hacked forward into the Bulldogs forward 50. It's a 2-on-1 for the Crows. We've got Hardigan and Smith. Smith picks up the ball and hacks it outside the forward 50. Henderson can't pick it up. It bounces over his head. Sloan manages to get to it, but he's tackled. Lynch handballs out to Henderson, who kicks to centre wing it, but it's smothered and goes out of bounds.
Good little play there. Attack on the footy's hot from both teams at the moment. Western Bulldogs just willing it forward to start, but good cover in the back lines there by Brodie Smith to clear the footy. Get a stoppage on just Bulldog side of centre wing. Will Minson, Sam Jacobs ready to lock up. They fight a 0-0 draw, and it comes away through Bob Murphy. He's streaking forward, kicks inside 50. Bit of a nothing kick, and there's a free kick paid. Holding, and it's going to the Dogs.
Unbelievable.
Everyone, boo! Yep. Hardigan surprised.
Hardigan doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah, that's just life for him. So
Stuart Cramery it is that's got the free kick. We see Bob there, scrub one inside 50.
I mean, there's a case there. I mean, Hardigan was only just wrapping him up where he couldn't move at all, but, you know, umpire was rigged.
I do feel for Kyle because his mother christened him Kyle Double Agent Hardigan.
All right. Speaking of double agents, Jack Hudson's decided to sneak in, and what can we do? So that's a goal to Cramery, and well, it's all downhill from here, isn't it, Ray?
I think it's early to call that, but Cramery gets his first.
Good.
Yeah, not great by Hardigan there, but maybe one day we'll move him off to the Hawks.
For anything, we will take anything.
I'm pretty sure that trade deal did include a slab of Coke Zero, which was unders. We did ask for Coke Full. As we see a highlight here of the stoppage. Just great work from the great man Bob Murphy, who, as it was said, I think off-air, looks perpetually 37 years old.
So the ball is bounced down, and Minson and Jacobs go at it again. It's smacked down to the Dogs. Bontempelli can't break the Sloan tackle. Picked up there by Wallace, who may be taken high by Matt Crouch. Is it paid? I think it is. So Wallace goes back in the centre circle, and he'll go for a leg towards the forward 50 for the Dogs. A pack converges there, and it's Cramery again. He can't take the mark. It's picked up by Tory Dixon, who snaps around the corner, and he's kicked another one. That's 2 in 2 minutes for the Dogs, and they're off to a hot start here.
Oh, Rory Atkins there was shocking. What is he doing?
That's a general statement, though.
Yeah. We may just have to get a recording of that and play it on loop every now and then, Leighton.
Someone get out to Rory Atkins and tell him defence isn't the thing, holding the spectators out back there.
He was not anywhere near the ball there.
That guy in row B could have done some damage to that pack, he was thinking. He was making sure they were covered.
The last time that the Bulldogs and the Crows faced off in in a final at the MCG, it turned into a real humdinger as well back in '97. So hopefully we'll get the same tonight. And Luke Beveridge looking confused. There's a surprise. And anyway, back to the centre bounce.
So Nichols again to put the ball in the air, get us going again. The Crows need to get forward here. It's a pretty good bounce.
That was a good bounce.
Minson taps it down to Bontempelli. Bontempelli turns, kicks forward. Roy Laird forces that one to the
is
ground,
that
and the
deliberate?
kick's on the way to the boundary line, and it'll find its way over. I think in the future that will be deliberate, but for now
hope so.
we're going to throw it in.
What is going on with that hair?
He's gorgeous. Leave him alone.
Looks like a
Wants
paralegal.
him.
Anyway.
So the ball comes in again. Both rucks. Nice tap down there by Minson. Dangerfield throws one out the back. Douglas
Get there,
onto it
Dougie.
and forces another boundary throw in exactly the same spot.
The Crows have not got it inside 50. That is a worrying sign.
But when they do, though, they've got the luxury of having Betts with 58 goals for the year, Walker with 55, Josh Jenkins with 42, Lynch with 29, Charlie Cameron with 27, and Dangerfield with 20. It is one of the more potent forward lines.
Oh, we've got another snap around the corner by
Another
Dalhouse.
goal.
And he's kicked the Bulldogs third, and it's a grim start for the Crows. The Dogs are up by 18 points within 2.5 minutes, and as Pete said, all downhill from here. Was he talking about us or the Dogs? We're not quite sure.
We're not sure. No refunds, by the way, everyone.
Can we just run a double check and make sure we've got the right game on air, by the way? Because devastating scenes early in this bleak MCG night in September.
All the pressure from the Dogs just coming forward with the footy, putting the Crows under all sorts of pressure. Can't get anything going forward here. The only forward momentum we've had is Brodie Smith kicking out of defence. But since then, it's been all Dogs.
And here's Luke Dalhouse in the middle of our street. Dalhouse.
So the ball goes up again in the middle for the fourth time. It's Hunter who gets a handball at the back there to Rourke Smith, maybe. He gets a handball forward to Hunter, I believe, again. Wallace out the outside to Lin Jong, who kicks it inside forward 50. It goes towards Dixon, who can't pick it up, and it's Lynch on the ground here. Picked up again there by someone, and it's picked up. Oh, I've had a stinker there. Laird handballs over to Van Berlo, who hacks it outside of the back 50. Can't be picked up by Bontempelli there, who handballs over his shoulder. It's hacked inside forward 50 for the Dogs again, where a big pack converges. Talia brings it to ground. He picks it up and gets tackled, and Wallace gets set upon straight away when he gets the ball. And we'll have another ball up about 20 metres out from the Dogs' goal.
Wasn't
Great
bad there
tackle
by
by
the
Sloan.
Crows. Kept on repelling it out. Kept on coming back in, but we were strong under the contest. As I see the ball go up again. Jacobs down. The package is on it. The package kicks at goal, and he's missed to the near side. And
As soon as you
He's
call
done
him
the
the
string! He's done the string!
We've got some sudden onset hamstring awareness here at the MCG, ladies and gentlemen. Will he walk it off? I think he's done a guitar string.
so Henderson comes in from the back 50, kicks out to Sam Jacobs. Sloan fights for it on the ground, gets it out to Douglas, who then in hand to Matt Crouch, to Dangerfield. Dangerfield dumps one forward up the line. We've got not much representation in the air, and it gets fisted over for a boundary throw in. Crows side of 50 for the first time, as we see Jake Stringer
come
just
off of his.
touching the back of his leg a little.
Now, for those of you watching at home, you can actually pinpoint the exact moment his heart breaks if you just keep pushing the pause button.
Don't know why his heart is in his butt, but anyway.
So attack forward for the Crows, but only as far as Shane Vicks, who kicks it across the goal. And there's a lot of open space in front of the Dogs here, but they don't want to use it.
It's
Hunter
right, the
crosses
Crows are inside
back.
50. It's
They
fine.
are for the first time this evening. As the Dogs drive it forward down centre wing, it's Jacobs and Minson takes a mark. In fact, it may be, yes, it is Minson.
Minson, one of those rare ruckmen who can mark the ball in 7 different languages.
Odd statistic that. So Minson kicks it towards forward 50 for the Dogs. Picked up by Dowhouse, but he gets tackled straight away. Down to Lin Jong, surely holding the ball, not to be. Dixon puts it out only as far as Crouch. Crouch to Jacobs, who kicks it to mid-wing. He gets it to Sloan, who looks to go for a run towards the forward 50 for the Crows. Takes a bounce and drives it in 50 to Eddie Betts, who takes a mark at the back.
Eddie!
And Eddie will go back to kick the Crows first with a bit of a settler here.
That was a pinpoint kick between two Bulldogs defenders.
It was very
Eddie
well
Betts.
weighted by Sloan. What a start we've had here to this game. Well, we've already had 4 scoring shots. We're about to have 5 within 5 minutes of the match. As Eddie Betts comes into goal. He's about 25 metres out, and he just stabs at it straight through the middle. And the Crows are on the scoreboard.
Love the boys.
And the crowd goes wild in front of us.
Beautiful set shot from Eddie Betts there. Real nice settler for the Crows. Nice passage of play. Hard running from Rory Sloan. See him take the outside passage. And a beautiful kick inside 50, finding Eddie Betts. on the Nathaniel's Coffee and Panini replay.
Absolutely.
Really sums up what Rory Sloane brings to the team there, doesn't it? The good overhead mark, the composure to take a couple of bounces, and then to not blaze away to the goal square, but to find the man who's just resetting himself on the reverse lead. Just hasn't always been the most clinical of footballers, but he's probably been the smartest out there.
As we see the string getting a lot of attention by about 5 different doctors.
Oh, now I get Cream's joke.
Oh, terrible bounce there by the umpire, and he'll recall that one.
So Eddie Bet so far has the Nathaniel's Coffee and Panini goal of the day. It's the only one so far for the Crowies. And you can tell, he's in a world of hurt at present.
I think he's enjoying it.
Jacobs down. Dangerfield attacks the ball. Scott Thompson clever out of the air.
Good job, Tommy.
Tackles Dowhouse, who gets it out to Minson, who a big ruckman hand pass finds. Outside was Matthew Boyd, who bombs one long inside 50, and
Good
that's marked on the
mark.
way back there by Kyle Hardigan, who looks to hand pass.
He's trying to get rid of it.
Of
He's
course
trying
he
to get
gets
rid of
rid
it.
of him. He's
Instead-
standing in the goal mouth, and he thinks, I'd better handball this. Well done, Hardigan.
Kicks it out. That's a great kick, finding Richie Douglas, who hand passes off to Matt Crouch. He's over the top to Dangerfield.
Hospital
It's
handball.
hand passed, broken up, and the Dogs will go forward again. Douglas gets it out to VB. And there's a free kick found
Good call, umpire.
for tripping
Don't know what it was
there.
for. Right.
Mercy rule in full effect. The umpire's decided we have not seen enough of the footy, so he thinks better give those guys a turn.
So Luke Brown kicks to Rory Laird. He is slowed up there by the Bulldogs
around.
defence. Kicks down the line now to no one really in particular. And that's cut off there by
Cordy.
Liam. Cordy it was. Sorry. 43, not 42. And he comes back across. Jake Stringer, we don't care about you, mate. Get back to the footy. Goes up the line. Lin Jong attacks the footy hard, gets it to Dowhouse. Over the microphone head, gets it back to Lin Jong. Hand passes are plenty. Cramery kicks his second and the Dogs fourth.
Was that the worst goal you've ever seen there, by the way? Lim Jong had to do a full pirouette and then land on the 180. Pretty sure he kick-flipped halfway through just to get the handball away.
The Crows in the midfield, a bit handball happy. Matt Crouch in particular, I think people will make podcasts one day about him saying how much he hand passes.
Yes, that won't be the butt of anyone's jokes, and hopefully he'll sign to a multi-year deal because he doesn't have much of a choice anyway.
What's a podcast?
But Benny Mack, worrying signs at the moment for the Crowies.
It is a bit at the moment. The Dogs just seem to be cutting through our defence like a warm knife through butter at the moment. So we need to fix something up down back, and maybe we could start by just subbing Cole Hardigan out. I don't know, just get it out. I don't care who comes on.
This is the 9th shot in 2 minutes of Jake Stringer. So I think that's a record for a telecast.
As the ball goes up in the middle again, Bontempelli can't take it away. Minson's been everywhere. He hacks it towards the forward 50. The Dogs, a horrible bounce. It goes over the head of a few. Van Berlo tries to pick it up but can't. Atkins with a handball out and attack towards centre wing where there's a 2-on-1 here for the Dogs. I think it's Liam Picken here running to the ball, and he's bumped off it by Tex Walker. Picked up by Sloan, who handballs forward to Riley
clever.
Knight. He runs towards forward 50 and takes a bounce and gets on the right leg, and he gets it out the back to Eddie Betts again. He is the only shining light going forward for the Crows at the moment, and he should kick another goal here from just outside the goal square.
15 metres out directly in front. Hopefully that'll help. You see the replay here of Sloaney somehow getting that one out.
Nutmeg through
Clean
the
bowls
legs.
Robert Murphy as well. And Betsy kicks it, puts it through for a goal.
He does.
Double
He
digits.
brings the lead back to 13 for the Bulldogs, and the Crows, well, are they up and running now? We'll see. Hopefully they can stem this Bulldogs tide and just bring themselves back into the match.
And Eddie Betts has stolen Jenkins' role of staying near the goal square. Interesting tactics.
Does
Like
that
a
mean
hawk.
I'd actually be worried if I was the coaching staff, because if Eddie's there, where is Josh? He's gone for a walk to the shops maybe because he's not in his homeland.
He's on the way to Geelong at the moment, starting a long trek down the highway.
As you can see, we were at the MCG as well, and finally the Bulldogs crowd are getting up and about, clapping their way back to Footscray, hopefully. But Ray O'Hara, on with the call.
Here we go. Josh Jenkins in the ruck,
there he
gets
is.
it down
There
to
he
Matt
is.
Crouch,
There he is.
who rarely kicks it forward. Lynch hand passes out to Thompson. Thompson over the
well
top
done, leg
finds
arms.
Sloan again.
Sloan.
Sloan kicks forward, and Taylor Walker takes a
Easton
mark
Wood on
in
the
the
mark was
forward pocket.
absolutely enthusiastic.
Looks for the Crows third, and he plays on, gets around the corner, kicks a
Yes.
goal. The Texan loves it. The Vipers out, the Snakes are out, and he's
He's up and about.
He's up and about. I lost myself there.
That's all right.
I thought that was a weird saying.
Tex had no time for the calisthenics that was going on the mark there, and he just thought, I'm just going to kick right over you, son.
Rory Sloane, a real factor in this game early, just wheeling the ball forward at every opportunity he gets.
You can see Taylor Walker being the leader. He's saying, boys, just get the ball and kick some goals and go.
As they say in Broken Hill, let's win this game of football.
I think that's a bit wordy for Broken Hill.
Way too constructive. Good guns there. Good guns.
Very nice guns. As we go back to the middle and a lovely shiny head bounces the ball again. Matthew Nichols. Josh Jenkins, we've found him, goes up. Surely call it back, but no. Bontempelli paddles it forward. It gets out to Matty Boyd, who handballs to Hunter, who gets on the left inside 50 for the Dogs again. And Dowhouse goes for a big mark, but Rory Laird picks up the ball. He gives him a bit of candy, kicks it outside 50, but only as far as Hunter. And Hunter's got a few players ahead of him that he could look for, but he's taking his time with this one. So he kicks it inside forward 50 to a big pack of players where Lin Jong flies, but he can't get over Daniel Talia, who takes a good mark. Talia crosses goal there with a bit of a dangerous kick, but it works in the end to Jenkins, of all people, in the back pocket.
He's in the wrong side. He might turn around and kick a goal here.
He's walking the wrong 10-metre.
We need to seriously get Jenkins some Google Maps because he is lost. But he goes for a run anyway.
He's really lost at the moment as he hospital handballs to Van Berlo, to Atkins, and then to Thompson, who gives a little bit of a kick outside the 50. Only as far as 3 Dogs, and it's picked up and handballed to number 22. And the Dogs going
We forgot the binoculars.
They're going towards 50 again, as I think it's
Great
Fletcher
handball
Roberts.
there by Roberts.
Douglas handballs to Cameron, who gets the Jets going. He kicks to the middle of the ground where he
What
reaches
a
9.
mark.
They've got the overlap here with Eddie Betts running into another open goal. He doesn't quite take the mark, but he handballs over Hunter, and Rory Sloane. He kicks a goal, and all of a sudden it's only a 1-point margin here at the MCG. Rory Sloane doing absolutely everything and keeping the Crows in this match.
Now, I never thought I'd say this in my life, but that was electric play by, checks notes, Riley Knight. Woodville West Torrens' finest product, I have been told.
Up the Pickers. That goes down Nathaniel's Coffee and Meat. Panini goal of the day, but that linkage up there too was a Trojan Aluminium. Something midfield, something we'll think of that later on. But you can see Sloaney doing well there as well. But Charlie Cameron doing well getting out of there. Great mark there from Varley.
And just the pace by Eddie Betts to get at the back here and just lose his man. I think it's Easton Wood running towards him. He had no hope of catching him.
There's a ball up in the middle. Sam Jacobs down. Comes to Bob Murphy at the back. Handball's interrupted. Comes out again to Liam Picken, that is. Picken kicks forward. Contest on the wing. Spoiled. Comes down to McRae. McRae gets it over to Cramery. Cramery looks, then kicks long. The ball's going to be brought back, though, and it'll be a free kick Dogs' way.
Yeah, that's a good call. Don't pay advantage.
No.
So the ball slowly coming back here.
Leighton, I'm
Rory Laird not too keen to get it back to him too quickly.
I'm completely enamoured right now in the outfit from the Crows, the amazing claw marks jumper. What's your take on this
I
particular
hope they
kit?
get rid of that next year. It looks like toothpaste.
So across it comes. Kicks out wide. Slow play here from the Dogs as they've transitioned all the way to the other side of the ground. Now they go forward. The ball comes in. Picked up, kicked around the corner.
Crows player down.
Crows player down. Cheney drops a mark. It goes to Stringer, who blazes away at goal again and misses. Kyle Hardigan down behind play. Looks like he's a bit dazed and confused.
He's just looking for a night off.
Can we sub him off, Sam?
Happy to oblige.
Sub time. Soon as the sub comes on, Ellidy's going to be running around the Cromwelly as well.
Brodie Smith rakes one out. All towards Rory Sloane. Hunter to McRae. Kicks inside forward 50, and it's microphone head. Jared Grant, who will take a shot on goal from about 45 metres out.
Every single time Jake Stringer gets onto camera with nothing near him, take a drink, you will be hammered by the end of the first quarter.
But shocking defence by the Crows. They had about 4 Bulldogs players about 40 metres out there. Can he convert?
So Jared Grant, in he comes for another goal. High scoring first quarter. He's pulled that one, and it'll be a minus score to the Dogs, who now 4 goals 3, 27 lead the Crows, 4 goals 0, 24.
Doesn't Jared Grant just look like he was put together wrong? Everything about it, like his arms are a little bit too long. They're a little bit too thin. Legs are a little bit.
He looks
too
like
long.
a Sims character.
He does.
So Brody Smith kicking in from full back here with a roosting kick that lands outside 50 for the Dogs. It's Jacobs who can't get a mark. Dangerfield punches forward. Dowhouse. Somehow Grant gets it again with a big snap around the body. He couldn't from there. No, he couldn't as it goes across the line again for another behind. 4-4, 28 to 4, nothing 24.
Brody Smith is happy about this. He wants to get his metres gains up.
His disposals are flying at incredible rates at the moment.
Oh, there's another disposal. As the short kick out of the goal square.
Padding.
Hits it to the exact same spot, but Taylor Walker there to take a mark this time. He wheels around quickly and gives a handball over to Scott Thompson. Scott Thompson handballs over the top there to Dangerfield, who's running towards forward 50 for the Crows. Take a bounce, mate. He kicks it inside 50, where it's a 3-on-1 for the Dogs. An interesting decision for a kick there.
Should have taken a bounce, mate.
Cleaned up too easily, and Shane Biggs kicks it outside. Well, not quite outside 50 for the Crows yet, but he gets it to Picken.
Coming broadcast side at the moment.
Indeed, and Picken looks to go long, I think, here with the right boot. He goes towards the wing. It's a 2-on-1 for the Crows. Cheney knocks it down towards Douglas. Douglas picks it up. He's tackled, but he gets a handball to Thompson. Thompson on the left into the pocket. Is Eddie Betts again?
What a kick.
He is everywhere in this first quarter, Eddie Betts, and he'll line up for his third goal already. And if I was a betting man, I'd be betting on him from any pocket in any oval in the country. So I'll be on him here to kick this one.
Ben, you fucked up that punt.
I did. It was horrible. Just kept running. Kept digging my hole and just kept going. So Eddie comes in on the right boot from about 40 out. It's a good-looking kick. It's drifted a little late. Punch back into play where the Bulldogs will pick it up and run. It's picked up there by Rob Murphy. He's backtracking towards goal. He's going the wrong way.
He's 37
goal.
years old. Tackle him.
Eddie Betts knocks it down to ground there where it's Boyd. Boyd handballs forward towards a contest with Atkins and Jong. No, neither can do it. Van Berlo picks it up and gives it to Douglas, who sells some candy. Kicks towards the 50. Where is it? Eddie again! How many marks has he had inside forward 50 in this first quarter? And he will go again to kick his third goal of the first. He is the number one target up forward for the Crows at the moment, and he's doing
sweet
a lot
FA
of work.
otherwise, though.
That was
a terrible hand pass by Easton Wood behind Len Jong.
Great work by Thompson. So Eddie almost from the same spot, but a bit closer in. He skips in towards goal, and he makes no mistake this time. He's got 3. The Crows hit the lead for the first time tonight by 2 points. Eddie Betts is everywhere.
Tell you what, this bloke is going to write a book one day, and I cannot wait to read it.
And it won't be controversial at all either. Unlike our book, The Fabric of Our Club, available at crowject.bigcartel.com, just $59.95. And for some reason, it has every single Guernsey up until 2021 from the future.
And where can you get that?
Crowject.bigcartel.com, $59.95.
Good deal.
Good deal. Great deal. Great deal.
As we see a replay of the goal.
The
Composure
selling
from
of
Richie
candy.
Douglas to the boy on Boomerang Court. I don't know what that is, but write it down, Damon. That could go with the book.
Douglas just channeling his inner Willy Wonka and selling some candy there in the guts.
Do we need to flag the Boomerang Court then?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Scott Thompson picks it up and taking about 3 people. They can't get him down. And we'll have a secondary stoppage just outside the centre circle. Matty Nichols throws it up. Scott Thompson, best place, gets it down to Matt Crouch, who cops one high, and he will take the Crows forward with 6 minutes, just a little over 6 minutes to go in the first quarter. He slow plays this one, kicks forward, rarely, and
that's why he doesn't do
Rory
it.
Sloan spoiled that one, but it goes the Dogs' way. Kyle Cheney over the top, caught one, and we'll get a free kick.
Well
Kyle
done.
Cheney of AFLX fame.
Well done, Feder.
I reckon Cheney's got captain material written all over him.
I reckon he does. Laird kicks forward. Taylor Walker in a battle of strength. He gets the free kick there as well for a hanging on. He'll look to put this one inside to the top of the square. Where's Jenkins? Where's Dangerfield? Drops it. Riley Knight on top of the pack. Dangerfield gets it out to Lynch. Lynch out to Henderson. Henderson snaps on goal. Henderson kicks the Crows' 6th goal. The Crows now 6 goals straight, 36, leading the Bulldogs 4 goals, 4 28.
Yeah, they're below us. Who cares?
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to Henderson staying with the Crows for a long time.
Yeah, sign that man in for a multi-year deal. What's the worst that could happen?
I'll tell you, it was good work there by Sophie Damon's man, Rory Laird, outside to set that one up. We know she's happy about that kick in the 50. And Henderson just sitting on the outside, just waiting for the ball. He, just waited for the handball to him, and they found him.
Controversial move here. Rory Atkins going to the centre.
Oh.
Known for his hard ball gets.
Oh, I'm sorry for laughing so hard. I thought the mic was on mute.
No, beautiful Sauce ready for the ruck tapping.
So up he goes. Sauce taps it down. Goes to Mitch Wallace though, so the Bulldogs go forward. Cut off there by Van Berlo. Quick hand pass by Laird to Cheney. Cheney kicks out wide. Finds Lynch. Lynch looks inside. Nothing on offer in there. So good defence. He's told to play on, so he kicks down the line now.
Good
Josh
mark.
Jenkins takes a
What are you
strong
doing
mark.
there?
He'll wheel and go now to the pocket. Not a great spot for the kick. It'll be spoiled and go out of bounds forward pocket for the Crows. 5.5 minutes to go in the first quarter.
Dangerfield has been very quiet this quarter. Looking
He
forward
has.
to him getting back into it.
He's sort of been around the mark, but just hasn't got his hands on it as much as you'd normally think. So it's brought down towards Eddie Betts, who's everywhere. He wouldn't kick one from there. He handballs to Jacobs, who kicks it towards the top of the square. Actually, it floats towards goal, and only a late touch on it there by Dale Morris stops it going for a goal.
I do appreciate the guys right behind the goals there for the crowd, trying to convince the umpire that it was not touched. Sorry, guys, I think you're going to have a hard case pleading that in court.
It is typical Vic bias, as we know.
So Hunter takes off towards the back 50 for the Dogs, and he kicks it at him. Not quite. It bounced within the field of play there, so not quite out on the full. Could have been a tactical kick, that one by Lockie Hunter. And we'll have a ball in just outside forward 50 for the Crows.
I'm baffled as to his tactics.
So Jacobs with a lovely tap down to Thompson, who only gets it as far as Morris. Morris to Wallace, who handballs to Dowhouse to
Great pressure by
Lin
Atkins
Jong. Lin
there.
Jong, Stringer wasn't
another
watching the
messy
ball, but
handball.
it's picked up by Dixon, who gets it back to Cramery. Cramery with a hack out of the air from 50, and that was never going towards the goal with the way he was holding that ball.
That's another Trojan aluminium spray of the day.
So it floats
dear, oh
through.
dear.
The Dogs move along to 4-5-29. The Crows 6-1-37. Kyle Hardigan bringing it in from back 50 this time, which is interesting. As far as Dangerfield, who
good
takes a
mark.
great mark there, standing in front of Dale Morris. And Dangerfield surveys what's ahead of him, and it's every single player on the field at the moment. Just about. So Dangerfield kicks towards mid-wing with a big long kick. He goes to the pack. There by Easton Wood over the back.
Easton Wood with a Trojan aluminium mark of the day.
Indeed, and he gets that one down towards, is it Dowhouse, I believe, who will look to go towards forward 50. He's being held up and told to play on now. He goes with a big roost towards 50. It goes in only as far as Dangerfield, who takes another mark pretty comfortably in the end. And a little chip to the 50 there where not quite Douglas, it's brought down by Hunter. It goes only as far as Brown, who handballs to Van Berlo. He kicks towards the wing there where it's got Jacobs. He can't bend down that far. Gets it out to Riley Knight, who's set upon by Mitch Wallace straight away.
In the back, I think.
I reckon we might have a ball up despite the ball getting out to the Dogs.
As we
Richard
got Richard
Branson in the
crowd.
The world's
And
most
Gil-
famous virgin sitting next to the world's second most famous virgin.
And Gil trying to explain to him what the hell is going on and why he's wearing a Bulldogs top.
Jonathan Brown also with his carer just behind Gil. The ball comes out, taken nicely there by Cordy. Gets it over to Bob Murphy. Bob kicks forward. They're on a bit of a roll here. Pickin, looking forward, kicks long to the top of the square. It's all Bulldogs there, but a nice spoil
good
by
spoil.
Henderson. Gets it to Laird, and Henderson cleans it up again. Van Berlo stops, surveys, and nice kick into traffic. Douglas just drops what he should have grabbed. Charlie Cameron, cool
good
and
weaving
calm
there,
under
Charlie.
pressure,
Charlie.
kicks forward, and it's a foot race here. Jenkins, second one to it. Nice tackle by Lynch. Should have been rewarded. Isn't. Gets tackled without it. We'll get the free kick eventually. He plays on quickly, scrubs the kick,
devastating.
but Charlie Cameron should make it work. He kicks forward. Where's Eddie? Eddie's on the ball. He gets it on the boundary. This is where you back him. He kicks, finds a teammate, just overcooks the kick, and it'll be the Dogs to take this one away.
The Ray O'Hara commentator's curse strikes again.
So the Dogs to centre wing there where Luke Dowhouse handballs to package Stringer. He doesn't like the hamstring, so he handballs it back to Dowhouse, who takes a bounce. heads towards forward 50 and he chips it there to Cramery. No, Lin Jong, they're not quite the same. And Lin Jong takes a mark and will go back from 45.
And Campo is still looking lost in the coach's box.
That's right.
Shout out to my former co-host Ben McLean, who's desperate to get cancelled.
I mean height-wise, thank you very much.
Wow. The 29-minute mark of the first quarter. It's Ling Jong's telling people to get back. Probably don't know if he thinks he has a carry.
I wouldn't think that he would be able to kick that far. The 22-year-old Lin Jong lines up. Starts his run up from well outside 50. It's a big kick to be fair to him, but it drifts to the left, and that'll be another behind for the Dogs. They move along to 4-6-30. The Crows 6-1-37 as we approach quarter time with a minute and a half to go.
Goalpost cam alert.
Lovely stuff. Can we use that for reviews? I'm not sure.
2
Van Berlo
480p.
kicks it out to Douglas on the wing. It bounces out the back to Walker. Handballs back to Douglas, who's set upon by Bontempelli. Somehow gets a kick up to Lynch there, who gives it to Sloan.
Somehow not
Sloan running through the middle of the ground. He takes 2 bounces. He looks forward. There's not much happening. He chips it over to Lynch, who's running toward Smith, who's running towards forward 50. Gets on the right boot. He could almost kick it from there with his leg, and Eddie juggles it over the line. Not quite there for Eddie, and the way this quarter's gone so far, you almost would have given him that one.
Absolutely.
In comes the ball to Grant, who's dropped back for the last bit of this quarter. He kicks out wide. Kick's not great. Sloan breaks it up. He's been everywhere this quarter. Holds the hand pass, gets it to Jenkins. Jenkins nearly messes his pants and gets it forward anyway. Taylor Walker onto it. He kicks it goal, and it's just to the skinny side, and another behind for the Crows. They take a 9-point lead late in this first quarter.
That's another Trojan Aluminium spray of the day. And, goalpost cam again. Good to see the resolution hasn't changed since 1997.
And if you look closely too, we have umpire Cap Cam, I apologise. Ham Cap, umpire. Can't wait to see my doctor straight after this call.
Good thing it's a public holiday tomorrow.
So we'll have a ball in not too far away from the Crows forward 50. And Will Midson and Jacobs will go at it for about the 15th time this quarter. It's brought down as far as Crouch. He can't get the hands away. He gets it to Thompson, who gets a little kick. Not very far. We've got Lin Jong bobbling around in there, and Thompson somehow gets back onto it again, but he's tackled. And we'll have a ball up again, almost in the exact same spot. It's been a very hot start to this one. A lot of tackles, as we can see there. 13 for the Dogs and 17 for the Crows.
We have Rory Sloan looking around asking everyone, which way's Bondi?
So, Jacobs gets it down to Lynch. Lynch handballs to Douglas. Could the Crows squeeze one in here before quarter time? Jenkins can't beat his man, but he manages to bring it to ground. There's Boyd, who picks it up and just hacks it out of the 50. Only as far as
Falcon.
Couldn't do much about
Atkins
that
has been
one
hit at the
there.
doodle.
Here's Brown, who gives it back to Atkins. He's recovered very quickly and kicks it towards
Atkins will
50, but
again.
the siren will go for quarter time.
Damn Axon.
In a very entertaining first quarter, the Crows lead by 9 points, 6-3-39 to 4-6-30. Eddie Betts has been absolutely everywhere along with Rory Sloan. They're doing it all, and the Crows, after a very slow start, conceding the first 3 goals, go in with a 9-point lead.
All right, and this is quarter time on the Crowject game recall. Time for drinks. Welcome back to the Crowject game recall, the 2015 Elimination Final via sponsors Nathaniel's Coffee and Panini and Trojan Aluminium. A big thank you to our patrons as well. And we ran a little thing at quarter time as well, just going through what you could win if you picked the most clangers. Now, the highest clangers that we had, Cream, was...
Sorry?
Who had the most clangers? Welcome to the streamer, Anthony Cream, as well. He doesn't know what's going on. Cream, who had the most clangers in the game again?
The leader was Matthew Boyd from the Bulldogs.
Okay, so we had a draw amongst the patrons as well to say who had the most clangers, and it was Boyd, and no one picked Boyd. The second was Scott
Thompson.
And winner, chicken dinner was made in And we're going to get a prize. Oh, we got a prize.
Elodie, show him what he's
It's
won.
time for the prize cupboard, and we've got... Ooh.
What the fuck is that?
What the What do we have here? Oh, the Adelaide Crows 1995 official yearbook. You beauty. as we like to live in yesteryear.
Where did
And
we
speaking
get
of
that from?
And speaking of yesteryear, it's back
Garage
to the
sales.
call as well, Benny Mac.
Here we go. We're underway. I'll take it.
Tirana
And-
Road across the road.
Down to Scott Thompson. Little backhander from Source was really nice. And ball goes forward. Tex taken without it. Let go though. Ball comes out. Douglas over the top of it. He picks it up. Doesn't get it out. Tackled by Dalhouse, who has had the most disposals in the game so far with 12. Leading all other comers by 4. Closest behind him was Sloan with 8. Dangerfield takes the ruck. Gets it down to Eddie. Eddie taken off the ball, but there's a free kick behind play. And it'll go to Will Minson. Will Minson assesses. You don't really like Ruckman running across goals, but he does it anyway. Kicks out wide, gets to Redpath, who we didn't credit playing in the first quarter, but he is there. Gets it out to Biggs. Biggs kicks it forward to Hunter. Hunter.
Down in front.
Hand passes. Gets a bit of overlap run.
Trying to
Kick
record
forward.
here.
Over the back, Wallace onto it, but shut down by Nathan Van Berlo, who hand passes out, finds Douglas, finds Smith. Smith to Thompson. Thompson needs to get rid of it, but he's run down by the human microphone, Jared Grant, and it'll be holding the footy and go the way of the Dogs.
In fairness, the man is carrying that much weight above the knees and between the hips that I don't think he could just accelerate away there.
What's above the knee?
So it's punched in the air by Douglas, tapped down by Bontempelli to Dixon, who kicks his second goal. And the Dogs with a very fast start in the second quarter, just as they did in the first.
And of course, I was referring to Scott Thomas' legs before anyone writes in.
Who else do you think's hot, Damon?
Tell you what, I'm not a rocket
Give us your
scientist,
list.
but you can tell that Scott Thompson isn't as young as he once was.
That's the insightful comments from Anthony Cream
Do you
coming to my
know what,
right.
Graham? None of us are as young as we once were when you really think about it.
I don't know, Ben is perpetually 16 and a half.
I'll take that. I'll run with that as far as you'll let me.
So
Dixon looks like he's on for a big one.
He does. He's kicked 2 goals already. He's been a presence up forward. That might be because Kyle Hardigan's been with him for most of the evening so far, but I mean, Rory Lamb was with him there.
They call in the trades, they call that a free ride.
So we're back in the centre here. Matthew Nichols with a decent bounce this time. Jacobs taps it down towards Wallace, can't take it. Thompson is set upon straight away by 3 Dogs and will have another ball up. He's not happy about something there, Tomo. So Nichols throws the ball up. Jacobs wins the tap down over his head towards Dangerfield or Henderson. Dangerfield picks it up though as he streaks towards 50 and kicks it to Taylor Walker, who's just outside 50. He could almost kick it from there with his leg. So 60 out. He has a big kick down towards Jenkins in the square. Can't take it. Eddie Betts tries to pick it up. He puts it through his legs, but then it's a rush behind. And the Crows go along to 6-4-40.
I'm fascinated by Taylor Walker's kicking style. As Ben said, he uses his leg.
He does.
Preferred
but
action.
It didn't work that time. Maybe should have used something else.
So Biggs kicks in to the halfback flank. Redpath up. Drops the mark. Comes down though to Bontempelli to Dixon. Gets it across now. There's a bit of run here from the Dogs. Kicks forward. He's got Jared Grant again, who's been prolific. Turns. Kicks to the top of the square. Henderson back with it. That was Tex actually. Henderson's on it now. Henderson calm. Kicks. Finds Taylor Walker on the defensive 50. A bit far away from home.
He's got a leg though.
He could almost kick it from there with his leg.
Tell you what, I'm really liking Taylor Walker's coverage of the ground at the minute.
It's what leaders do when the game's in the balance. They put themselves where the footy is.
So back to Talia. Does the Jake Kelly dump it down the line? Up is Easton Wood again, but over the back, Sloan, and the Crows are off. Sloan takes a bounce. Will kick now. Little 45 finds Dangerfield. Dangerfield kicks long. Charlie Cameron, best place for it, but broken up.
Here we go.
Rory Atkins. Back to Thompson. Thompson to Atkins. Atkins puts it on the foot, almost misses it. And the ball will come to Biggs. Eddie Betts tries to break that one up, but Boyd.
Oh, well done, Eddie.
Between Eddie Betts and Charlie Cameron. Charlie tries to keep it in, but we're over the line and we'll have a boundary throw in. Crows forward 50. Ben.
Cream, it's not like Rory Atkins to misuse the ball in the forward pocket, is it, mate?
Definitely not. You can see that Charlie Cameron's a bit frustrated there. He hasn't seen as much of it as he would like so far.
So Thompson handballs, but only as far as Bontempelli, who gives it to Murphy. Murphy turns around straight away with a handball there to Bailey Dale. He handballs on, and the Bulldogs go to centre wing, where it's met with Hunter, who takes the mark. Even Stringer, who kicks it into the centre square with a horrible kick, and it floats to Atkins, who once more misuses the ball. Cheney picks it up, and he's tackled by McRae straight away, and you could almost ping holding the ball there, and in fact Nichols will.
And that's off the back of Rory Atkins dropping a fucking Christmas pud there.
He has. He's put that one down horribly. So McRae, he'll look to go inside 50 with a long kick onto the left. It's Henderson sitting in the hole, and Van Berlo gets back to Stringer. Stringer on the left. He misses absolutely everything. And Ricky Henderson takes it over the line for another rush behind.
So Jake, all about me, Stringer, looking at his own highlights as he walks off there.
Something tells me this game is screaming for somebody to just break it open.
I think you're right. Brodie Smith could be that man, but he's pretty stagnant at the moment.
Very real cool. We know he's got a leg just like Taylor Walker, and he goes bang with it outside the back 50 toward Lynch, who takes a lovely mark over the back of Boyd. And Lynch has a look what's in front of him.
Not a lot.
Not much happening at all, really. Not much movement, but he kicks to centre wing. It was a decent kick, but it's just cut off by Lin Jong. He handballs to Rob Murphy, who once more looks backwards straight away. He kicks in towards the centre circle, and the Bulldogs are going forward once more. It's a pack of 3 there. Dixon might reap the benefits here. No, it gets to Cramery, who snaps on the left, but he hits the post.
Starting to get to a point where you could say the Crows, despite being 2 points ahead, are kind of lucky to be in this footy match.
Yeah.
I'd love to know the clearance numbers. Seems like Adelaide are getting poleaxed around the footy.
We'll get on the phone to Champion Data, see if we can get an update.
Ash Chua, call in if you could.
Ricky Henderson with a nice strong mark. As they wrestle, he pushes Hunter off, tries to play on, gets called to play on, but the umpire's in the way. Gets it up to Taylor Walker, who's really starting to get involved in this second quarter. Uses that leg Ben keeps talking about. Gets it to Dangerfield with a beautiful kick. Dangerfield to Douglas. Douglas puts it inside forward 50. And there's Tom Lynch, who will have a shot on goal from about 50 metres. Near on directly in front to solidify the lead a bit. The Crows need this after a hot start from the Dogs in the second quarter.
Does he use his leg to kick too, Ben?
I think he may. He's one of those players who does use the leg to get the ball going.
Is he a good kick? We'll find out.
In he comes. Swings around onto the right foot. Distance is all right. The accuracy is all right. The umpire lets it go over the GoPro on his hat, and that's a goal to the Crows.
See, there's no commentator's curse here at the Crowject, people.
To answer the question, yes, he is a good kick.
Thanks, Ben. Thanks for that insight.
And to clarify, the leg was used.
Tom Lynch, one of those great recycled players that the Crows have picked up over the last couple of years, acting as the name suggests, the linchpin in the forward line.
Just plays his role.
And that role is to get up ground, take good marks, kick good goals, to be a good-looking redhead. It's not an easy job. It's not an easy task.
Number 16, umpire number 16 with the readjustment of the shorts before the ball up. Got to make sure there's a minimum wedgie there. Ball goes up.
Leighton's taking notes right now about that one.
Ball goes up. Jacobs taps it down to Dangerfield, who runs out, kicks from the wing, heading towards half forward flank. Here comes big Josh Jenkins trying to fend off Lockie Hunter. Gets it to Riley Knight, the Woodville West Torrens project, who kicks it into the middle. Spoil. Here comes Charlie Cameron, seeing if he can do anything. Handballs it half a metre to Eddie Betts, who gives it back and will have a throw up.
Love that Riley Knight is Woodville West Torrens project. When do you think he's going to come good?
Well, he's still there, isn't he?
In the far off future, yes, he is.
So, some tells me he'll be there till 2025 at this rate.
So Sloan onto it. It gets cleaned up though. Lin Jong gets it out to
Joel Hanley.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's contagious.
Cardigan up over the back. Ball spills to Cramery. Riley Knight on him, grabs him, wraps him up. Gets out though, Dalehouse. Dalehouse gets it back and it's away with the Dogs. Nice hand pass there to Hunter. Gets it back to Honeychurch, that is. Sorry. Picken kicks inside 50 and it's chopped off there by the Crows. Nice intercept marked by Matt Crouch. Matt Crouch kicks to Sam Jacobs, who then, short little kick, doesn't find Van Berlo.
What was that?
Makes a meal of it to Picken. Picken cleans it up to Cramery. Cramery kicks forward. There's a one-on-one inside forward 50. Cheney
Well done, Feta.
Oh, look at him go.
gets to Henderson, who gets it out to Luke Brown. Luke Brown kicks, clearing kick, and will find Taylor Walker, who in turn hand passes inside to Richie Douglas. Richie Douglas gets it on the foot, kicks it forward. This is Josh Jenkins' bread and butter, but it gets over to Eddie Betts, and he will kick his 4th goal before half-time. Points to someone in the crowd.
Ray, I think you'll find that is Josh Jenkins' bread and butter, putting 2 fingers to the footy and then letting it fall to Eddie. Built a career on that.
The only thing that was missing was the hand pass back from Eddie to him into goal.
Not very often will Josh Jenkins find someone closer to goal than he is.
And the jealousy is written all over his face.
That's my goal square.
Like Shrek in his swamp.
Josh Jenkins was the only person happy about the 6-6-6 where you have to start in the goal square because save the moving back.
He wasn't leaving it anyway.
Exactly.
He thought that rule was already in effect from the start of his career. But that's the danger of the Crows forward line when you've got talls like Jenkins who can compete, Eddie and Cameron who can compete on the ground. As Sauce goes back into the ruck.
So we form another pack here. Nothing doing there. We've got about 12 players around the ball, and we'll ball it up again. As the crowd's getting a bit restless out here, they want to see some more goals. Jacobs palms it down as far as Lin Jong. It's picked up there by Crouch, who handballs like he does so well. Cheney chips around the corner to mid-wing towards Rory Sloane, who's been everywhere still. Rory Sloane just needs a kind bounce. He paddles and paddles. He picks it up eventually. Handballs forward to Scott Thompson, who will get on the right boot. No, he switches to the left just to throw us all off. Inside 50. There's a big pack forming. It goes towards the boundary line. Taylor Walker can't pick it up, and we'll have a throw in about 30 metres out from the Crows' goal.
In front of the travelling fans there.
Indeed.
As Pete does some running repairs on a few people.
Bit of ASMR food here.
We've now turned this into the Crowject mukbang.
Down, Will Minton gets a foot on it to Jared Grant, goes back to Boyd. Boyd kicks it forward, but it should be cut off here by Luke Brown. But he fumbles the ball and will have a boundary throw in. Adelaide Crows side of the wing. Eddie Betts looking brilliant.
Thanks for this. He's having a great game tonight, is Eddie. 4 goals early.
So ball down, picked up by Lin Jong. Out to Grant, to Wallace. A couple of good Bulldogs names there. Ball comes forward. Cheney and Hardigan fight over that one, and the ball will go out again.
Yep.
You see Redpath just pushed Cheney out the way, and a bit of a wrestle. Could have been a free kick, but you know, as they always say, Vic Bias.
So the ball's going to come in. Got a tap down from Minson. Sloane goes to get it. Of course, Rory Atkins comes through, loses the footy. Hacked forward by the Bulldogs, and we've got Brodie Smith taking a terrific mark over the back of Hardigan in the back left pocket.
So in comes Smith. Smith to Matt Crouch, who ball's broken up, so he'll get a free kick. I think someone said long hand pass from here. So on we go. Kicks down the line. Broken up. Taylor Walker on it, but Wallace pumps it forward. Rory Laird over it. Nathan Van Berlo gets it out of bounds, but the umpire's found one there, and it'll go the way of Honeychurch.
Incorrect disposal.
What do you think Honeychurch's nickname is, Damon?
I'm going to go with Sticky Cathedral. As we see Van Berlo maybe throwing it with a great big one-armed action.
Sit down, kid. Come on.
Well, he's definitely not kicking it from here, so he's going to look for the top of the goal square, I dare say.
This guy, can I just throw it out there, far too handsome to be playing for the Western Bulldogs.
Who's that?
Definitely doesn't come from the western suburbs of Melbourne.
Is he a bit of a horn bag?
I've heard the term used.
Ding dong.
And he comes, kicks on the way.
Oh, he has tried to kick the goal.
Hasn't he just?
Van
Berlo lets him know all about his kicking action.
Unfortunately for him, he's missed it by 25 metres to the right.
He's Ty Zantuck to that one.
So
and then Nathaniel's Coffee and Panini obscure reference goes to Pete.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Trojan Aluminium Spray of the Day contender there too.
So Desclair brings it back inside play, and he heads to a big pack there, centred with Taylor Walker. But Jack Redpath floats across like a little midfielder and just plucks it out of the air. And he'll look to put it towards 50. He's got someone jumping up about in the centre square. Doesn't go to him. Goes inside 50 instead. Where Stringer goes for a big mark but can't pull it down. Henderson handballs over the back to Dangerfield, who gets pushed in the back. Surely not paid. Picked up by Stringer, who snaps around the corner. He couldn't from there. He has. Jake Stringer with a huge goal. He finally finds the middle of the goals after 2 points. And the Bulldogs bring it back to 8 points the margin with 9:47 left here in the second quarter.
I guess that means his hamstring's okay.
Looked all right when he kicked that one.
It's amazing. You don't feel your hamstring when you kick goals.
No. There's a bit of James Brown about it, getting carted off stage, and then it's just a big reveal to come back.
If he had sprayed it, he would have grabbed it. I guarantee you that.
Oh, yeah.
Oldest trick in the book, that one. And the package has got plenty of that about him.
Bit of me about him.
You just look at some people, like Jack Redpath. He just looks like he has very strong hands. As for his coordination or his work by foot, not really existent.
He can't do much with them, but they're strong.
But he's got to be there for a reason, and I reckon it's the hands.
Special comments by Anthony Cream. We go back to the centre square.
So, Dangerfield jumps on it, gets it out. McRae spills it. Riley Knight over the top of it. So we'll have a secondary stoppage inside the centre square.
McRae lucky not to be awarded a free kick there.
Very. Josh Jenkins.
Beautiful rucking by Jenkins there.
Didn't get the arms up.
Absolutely
but Grant
confused.
Comes away with it. Bit of the numbers are with the Dogs. Honeychurch kicks inside forward 50. The ball comes down to Lin Jong. Can't find a hand pass target. Gets it out. It's cleaned up by Crouch and Smith. They're over the top of the ball. Should be a ball up, and his umpire will have this one. Scott Thompson, who we've established Damon thinks is hot.
Once Scott Thompson wraps someone up, just ball it up. It's not coming out of there. No.
So Jenkins down, Atkins with the one-handed effort. Ball spills around again. Lin Jong over it. Thompson gets it out to Crouch, who kicks forward. Tex just overruns it. Easton Wood gets it off to Dowhouse. Dowhouse snaps forward. Numbers are with the Crows. Sloan back with it. Talia mops it up nicely. And Van Berlo should clear and does. Gets it out over the top. Lynch running back onto it. On the back though is Briggs. Comes out to Roberts. Roberts, nice mark by Van Berlo. Not paid though, so we have to go to Cheney. Cheney just walks this one over the line in a McRae tackle.
And it's mass confusion here as Van Berlo looks at the umpire and says, "Do you know who I am?"
Nathan,
can you not see that was clearly a mark, umpire?
Nathan Van Berlo, one of the few players in AFL history that suits long socks. You couldn't imagine him without him.
So the ball's back in. It's Stringer again from where he kicked the goal last time, but Sloan gets his hands on it and hacks it outside of 50. A very fast Charlie Cameron turns on the Jets, even Brody Smith. He runs away from Tory Dixon and puts it on the outside of his boot to Charlie Cameron. He's everywhere at the moment. Charlie gets the ring and he runs in towards goal and snaps on the right. He's hit the post. Electrifying play by Charlie Cameron, and it was almost a goal there, but just not quite kicked it well enough. And Boyd will bring it back in for the Dogs as the margin is extended to 9 points. So Boyd kicks to himself. Looks out to the left. He gets himself a nice disposal. He'll look for the 1-2 here, but he won't get it. It's kicked out towards the forward 50 of the Crows, and a mark is taken there by the Dogs. Chipped out to the wing to Jared Grant. Incredible that a microphone can do this much stuff on a footy field as he grabs that mark there.
I've never seen him so active. There must be 3 of him out there.
So he bombs it down long to a big pack forming. Not much happening. It's smacked to the ground. Can't quite grab it there, can Atkins. It goes to Knight, who handballs forward there. The Crows have got a couple of numbers, and Jenkins a long way from home. He finds another free man in Patrick Dangerfield, just come off the bench maybe. Puts it on his left foot in there.
What an option.
Riley Knight, is it? Who takes the mark 45 metres out. And he'll look to extend this Crows lead out to 15 points. It might be a bit far for him to kick.
If we just see in the background, we just seen Josh Jenkins still running to the goal square, even though the play had stopped.
I feel like he runs to goal pretending he's got the ball, just so he can say that he kicks a goal. So if the ball goes over his head here, it'll be his kick.
Can Riley be a knight in shining armour and extend this lead for the Crows?
It looks like he can, but he's kicked it far enough. He certainly kicked it as he smacks the harp with his fist.
Points
and the
to
Crows.
the sky.
Oh, Anthony Cream dropping the puns like there's no tomorrow. But Riley Knight absolutely slaughtered that kick, didn't he, Damon?
Indeed he did. I'm stunned by this young man. I think he's got a future ahead of him. And if you look in the background, you might see Rory Atkins still trying to recover himself from dropping that handball earlier in the play. He might get a few mentions in this cast, and not many of them will be kind.
I think he might have just come on the ground there for Riley Knight. That was very well timed by you, Damon. Almost like you knew it was going to happen.
A scrubbed kick like that at goal might sink Port Adelaide one day in the future.
Our guest of honour, Jack Hudson, not currently in the room for that joke.
He knew it was coming.
Regrettably.
So Riley Knight points to the sky. Emotional year for the Crows, as said in the intro. But down comes Minson. Minson chucks a foot on it, gets it forward. Picking over the top of it to Dalhouse. Dalhouse kicks forward. Cheney out the back, cleans up to Smith. Smith with his right foot.
Beautiful.
Kicks it out.
Kick.
Really nice kick. Gets it to Charlie
side.
Cameron. Charlie Cameron kicks down the line. It's a foot race. Tex gets... Well, sorry, doesn't go from Tex, but Bob Murphy cleans it up, gets it inside to Boyd. Boyd assesses his options. There's not many around. He gets told to play on, so he kicks backwards. There is a man behind the ball, and it's Easton Wood. Ball goes wider. Switch is on here from the Dogs. Hunter gets it on the wing, but he's closed down by Henderson. Ball over the top. Really nice kick there by Hunter. The overlap run as well comes from McRae, who kicks inside forward 50 and finds Jack Redpath.
Crows are falling asleep.
And
at the
that's
moment.
what he's in the team for, his hands. I mean, you got to mark them, and only way you can do that is hands.
Yes.
Or chest.
You can only mark with your hands, you can only kick with your feet.
This anatomy lesson is brought to you by the Crowject.
This is what normally lets him down. Lord knows he's done nothing else tonight, so let's hope.
So what lets him down is the kicking?
Yes, everything but the hands.
Usually handy for a AFL player to kick.
In comes Redpath. Looks confident.
Oh, God.
Kicks on its way.
Wow.
Sails over the umpire's hat.
Anthony Cream.
That puts them back behind by 9 points.
Couple of really stinky goals in a row there. Knight with the helicopter. Redpath said, I can do you one better. I'll step a bit further out and just give another one.
I think I did say something before about the commentator's curse doesn't exist here on the Crowject. Welcome to the call, Anthony Cream.
Thank you very much. Pleasure to be here.
And, to hear more of Creamy's calls, tune into the Crowject every week.
Yeah.
Please forgive me. I've just gotten off a plane coming back from Bentonville, just to shout out to the people over in America.
Shout out to Bentonville Tigers in the 6A League in northwest Arkansas. Snowing at the moment. It's currently a wintry mix at the present time in Arkansas.
So basically just, it's cold.
Yeah, it cold. It gone snow. Anyway, back to the footy.
So we ball it up again in the middle here, and it's a block out by Minson, very obviously. So Jacobs will get a free kick.
Minson's tried to take Sam Jacobs' lunch money there. He wasn't even looking at the foot.
Unsuccessfully too. Henderson kicks it inside forward 52. 3 Bulldogs there. A very interesting.
Oh, no,
That's got to be deliberate.
hang on.
That was the most obvious deliberate you'll ever see. And it'll be kicked inside forward 50 towards Jenkins. Well, that's not who you want to kick to in that pocket.
No. Not the angle, not the man, not the hour.
20 metres too far out from goal anyway. Let's be honest.
Indeed. I'm surprised we saw him that far out. As we approach half-time here, we've got 4.5 minutes left. A seesawing game here. Jacobs gets the tap down, but only as far as Hunter or McRae. Dowhouse gets it back. He kicks towards the wing there and is taken a mark by Boyd, I think that is. He kicks forward again, and the Dogs are running in numbers, but he only kicks as far as Talia. One set of the brothers playing in this game tonight. Daniel takes a good mark there. As he kicks back towards Ricky Henderson, who takes a nice mark on the back of Cremery. And Ricky Henderson goes back. He'll look to set up a big kick inside forward 50 here.
Danger just joining the mark there.
He's done very well. Josh Jenkins loses his man but can't quite take the mark. Crouch picks it up but he's set upon straight away. Bontempelli picks it up and kicks it outside the 50. We're at centre wing here and the Bulldogs have got numbers and they're running. McRae picks it up. He's set upon by Kyle Hardigan.
God, umpire!
Kyle Hardigan.
Yeah, got it.
That could be the first time he's ever caught someone holding the ball, and he's done well.
Does not know what to do now. He's confused. The whole situation's foreign to him.
He's kicked it well, to be fair. Lynch was standing by himself. It's picked up by Knight. Knight, the last goal kicker for the Crows. He gets a handball there. Not very well done by Thompson, who kicks it inside forward 50 towards Jenkins again. Jenkins can't take the mark once more, and it's paddled out over the line, and we'll have a ball in.
Great shove there by Riley Knight.
And great calling there by Ben McLean.
No,
You've got to say, despite the fact that the Crows are 9 points ahead, and as the stat there shows, more time in the forward line for the Western Bulldogs, you'd have to think the men from Whitten Oval have been playing the better game of footy so far.
The young midfielder on top. Bulldogs midfield, very young, going to be around for a long time. Charlie Cameron onto that one, kicks it goal just across the face. John Denver was just about to warm up the vocal cords for a bit of Take Me Home Country Road.
You can tell he wants to get involved, but it's just not happening for him.
Hasn't quite got the joystick working, as Charlie.
So Boyd kicks in, finds Bob Murphy. Bob, nice kick over the top to Mitch Wallace. Wallace down the line again. This is a bit of the package over the top.
Oh, jeez.
Kicks inside forward 50. Ball's up. Talia best place. That was Cramery that kicks in. And Jake Stringer, let him see if he grabs the hamstring after that one, because he's had an airy.
Nothing like two Bulldogs players going for the goal post in a final on the MCG, and they always manage to fuck it up and it goes towards the point. So, anyway, that's an obscure reference. Anyway.
So Brown brings it back in for the Crows. He kicks just outside 50 towards Sloane and Douglas, but it's met by Bontempelli. Hunter picks it up near the boundary line and he snaps around the corner here. The mark is not quite taken by Wallace, and Bontempelli sees it over the boundary line. 2.5 minutes to go here, just outside the Bulldogs forward 50.
Oh no, we've got goal umpire Cam.
Oh, Stringer's fumbled that one.
Oh. That won't help his hamstring.
Nope.
It won't.
You know, I'm watching the footage and I'm thinking, whatever happened to umpire Hat Cam? But I think I know exactly what happened to him.
Exactly.
Seasickness.
So Minson can't pick it up there. Lin Jong can. He hacks it on the boot towards the goals. Only as far as Kyle Hardigan, who's had a good couple of minutes, especially for his standard.
I know, Ben. I'm scared too.
So Hardigan, look for him to hit a Bulldogs player on the chest right here, and that's exactly what he's done.
He has!
Boyd kicks it back towards 50. Hacked inside. It's a real floater there. It might bounce out the back for a goal if Henderson Hardigan gets there. He makes up for that missed kick, sort of.
Well, as we say, Hardigan tap it over the line there. It went to a Crows fan, so the first Crows Guernsey he's hit all day. Tapping it over the back. In comes Luke Brown. I've never heard
the vocal stylings of Ray O'Hara, ladies and gentlemen.
I'll be here all week. Brown down the line to Jacobs. Gets the free kick. He'll go to the human desk in Rory Laird. To Henderson. Henderson turns inside, looking for a hand pass option. It's chopped off. Laird over the top of it. I feel like we're going to see him at the bottom of plenty of packs for plenty of time for the Crows.
He's an engorged man.
Will Minson's spending way too long on the ground there. It's not an excuse to have a nap, Will. There's still a minute left in the half.
As we see, the safety vest wearers are still wearing the safety vest. Ball is kicked.
High tackle there from Thompson on McRae, potentially.
Dangerfield not happy with that call. He has got Crow for life written all over him here. Ball goes forward. McRae kicks, chopped off by Sloane. Riley Knight everywhere this quarter. Turns inside, hand passes out to Thompson, and the Crows are off. Henderson with the worst bounce I've ever seen. Picks it up though, and hand passes very oddly. Back and forth. This goes to Knight, who then kicks 50. Forward. Jenkins late to the party, and the ball is cut off there by Joel Hamling.
That was like watching the Washington Generals trying to play like the
Harlem Globetrotters.
Thank you, Globetrotters. They knew what they were trying to do, and I knew what I was trying to say.
I think you meant the Wizards.
Thank you, Pete.
Anyway, we move on, and the Bulldogs have found a spare number on the wing. So they look to reset with about 40 seconds left in the quarter. It's made its way up to Jack Redpath. He's not really urgent to go forward here. He takes his time and chips it over the top. You'd think the Dogs would be wanting to score one more before the half. As they move towards their forward 50, it's Minson and Cheney, a battle of the two greats. Douglas on the ground, he's tackled by Minson, but he can't get it away. Minson picks it up only as far as Knight. Knight barges through a few tackles and gets it out to Jacobs, and Jacobs chips it back inside the back 50.
as the crowd screams and points in the correct direction.
Yes, the Crowbots are back.
So we've got 7 seconds left in the first half here. In what's been a very entertaining match, a big pack on the wing is formed. Sloan tries to bat it down, and we've reached half-time with the Crows leading by 8 points. It's 9-6-60 to 7-10-52 as we head to Sandy and Brad Johnson in the studio.
We're going to be heading to Cream and Elodie for the half-time show here as well very soon on the Crowject live game recall. But it is the Crows by 8 points.
Well, that's the first half over and done with. Welcome to halftime entertainment.
What's going on with your voice over there?
We got
mate?
Pilot Pete in the middle, but apart from our
And you're Anthony.
everyday radio segment in the mornings, Elodie and the Cream
Oh, with a Peter in the middle.
are here to bless you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Peter and the PB&J sandwich, I guess.
Exactly right.
Who's the PB and who's the J?
I'll be the peanut. All right, so half-time currently in this 2015 Elimination final. Cream, what are your thoughts so far on the commentary?
Commentary's been good. The game itself a bit infuriating. I would hope that the Crows would be 6 goals ahead by now, but the fact that they're just letting the Bulldogs hang around means it is a lot closer than I would want it to be.
That's not a good thing usually. And Elodie, your thoughts on the game so far?
The game terrible. The commentary great.
Good.
What do you think about the looks of the boys in the middle of the ground?
The boys.
Yeah, some of the
Wait, in the
boys.
commentary team or
No,
the football?
The boys on the ground.
The blokes actually
'cause
out there
I was
kicking
gonna
the
say,
footy.
You know, the ones that are kicking the
commentary
footy.
team- The commentary team could use some work. But
Fair.
the boys kicking the footy. Yeah, I like. We haven't seen. Oh, is Caleb Daniel the sub?
Yes, he is.
Oh, well, I can't wait to see him out there.
You're going to think...
Yes. Do you know this about
We'll
me?
flag that. You love a good helmet though, don't you?
I love a good helmet. Was this back in the day where the subs were just subs? There were no injury subs, right?
Yeah, there were no DOMs.
They're just subs.
No king shaming here.
Subs, no DOMs. I'll king shame Caleb Daniel if I want to.
So what are we looking for in the second half?
Hopefully a second half. And
Some football.
Hopefully a restart to the game. That'd be great.
and hopefully no further issues in regards to the recording. And hopefully when you're watching this, there won't be any of the issues that you see. But Elodie, do you think it's time?
Is it time?
No, we don't have the iPad. But Creamy, some calls for the second half of this game. Tell us, what do you think is going to happen?
Well, to be honest, when Ricky Henderson is your top disposal getter at half time, I think you're doing something wrong.
Yeah, there's a problem.
Dangerfield hasn't had enough of the footy.
So you should get it more,
Yes.
but dispose of it.
I think we're getting beaten.
Effectively.
I think we're getting beaten around the clearances. We're getting beaten in tackles. We're lucky to be ahead, in all honesty. If it wasn't for inaccuracy from the Bulldogs, we'd
the
probably
Bulldogs have had more shots on goal.
we'd be staring down the barrel of 3 goals down, probably. Charlie Cameron needs to get involved. Apart from that, it's been pretty good. A huge shout out to Riley Knight, who has been playing outstanding footy. And yeah.
Would you trade Charlie Cameron a few of the Crows right now?
No, not for all the coin in the world.
He's even on potential alone, he could kick another 400 goals by the end of his career.
Yeah.
He's going to be a star for our club, isn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
Forevermore.
And you'd be dumb to give him away
Yeah. For
to
peanuts.
anybody.
For peanuts.
So what's the Creamy's call here?
What do you want to know? Who wins or?
Give us what you got.
Oh, what do you want to know?
Creamy retrospective Creamy's calls. I don't know if this is
Retro Creamy's
I
calls.
don't, does that mean I just purposely come up with something shit?
Guess
Like
so.
purposely just say the opposite of what's going to happen?
Crypto going up, not coming down.
Yeah.
Okay?
Oh, Peter, you're fucked.
Thank you.
I think
Welcome to the Crowject. Shout out to our sponsor, Nathaniel's Coffee
Crows are
Panini and Trojan Aluminium.
Crows
Peter's fucked.
are going to win by 7 goals.
7 goals.
7 goals.
So they're just
Oh,
gonna
jeepers.
they're gonna put it in the right lane and just put the hammer down.
And
Hammer.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the driving, like you get in the right lane to overtake.
Yeah. at the moment, we're on the highway to the danger zone, and it's big danger for the Bulldogs.
Right. You've watched Top Gun again, haven't you?
Yes. Shout out to Tom Cruise. Love you well.
Yeah. If you're listening in, Tom, if you want to sponsor us.
And it's been a while since the last movie. I would like to see another movie in the future.
I really hope they do one soon. And, Val Kilmer, he's doing really well. Everything's going well for him. So I really hope he takes a big role in the next film, if it happens.
Good call from you.
Thank you.
Who do you think is the most famous person that's listened to our podcast?
Oh, shit.
Well, our podcast doesn't exist. It's 2015.
Yeah, it's like 3 years before we start.
Halfway through
What
this, I'm just like,
podcast?
hang on, are we doing it in 2015 or we're doing it now?
Are you assuming we're going to start a podcast? Should we start a podcast off the
Do you
back of
know
this?
what? Yeah, I reckon in 3 years' time we start a podcast.
You know what?
Done.
Don't mind it.
All right, I'm putting a reminder on my phone.
That should
Just
have been
like-
a Creamy's call.
Oh, can we talk about this? The reminder that came up on my phone the other day.
Yeah, what was it?
Oh, that's right.
Did you see this?
Oh, was that about you
Put
and
it
me
in the
getting
chat.
married?
Yeah,
the two
and I
of you
tried
getting
to-
married?
I racked my brain trying to think of it. I feel like it was one of those, those conversations you have with people where you're like, if neither of us are married in, some amount of years' time, let's just get married. I feel like we had that conversation at some point. But it feels too soon.
Yes.
We
Hang on,
haven't known
guys.
each other
Everyone
that
in the
long.
room, for a prize, what does Elodie use to mash her potatoes? Hey, James Payne wins something. What are we going to win? We've got to go to the
But
prize
we haven't
cupboard.
known each other long enough.
No, we
I wouldn't
haven't.
say to someone if I'm not married in 2 years.
That seems a bit excessive.
This is like a 10-year thing.
We don't have to get married. This isn't...
Well, I mean, we don't
it's
not have to.
Sorry, can we just put a pause on the
Alright.
domestic while I present to James Payne, one of our patrons, a 1999, if I could talk, the official yearbook of the Adelaide Football Club, including Lucas Herbert, future obscure crow.
The
Thank you,
fine
Jim.
99 yearbook.
Thanks, Jim. Sorry. So, just real quick. So, are you guys getting married?
Duh. We're not getting married.
No, but we're not getting married.
So you're not getting married?
It's
Well,
like one of
we're
those
not.
engagements that drag on for 5 years.
Yeah, that's
and
it. We'll have an engagement party to get the presents, and then we'll just.
What
pop
are
it
you
off for a
celebrating at an
while.
engagement party?
We're still figuring it
Yeah,
out.
and that's what
and-
I always said. You're just celebrating your intentions.
Yeah.
To do
Yes.
something, but you haven't done anything.
You're celebrating a proposal. It's not like you celebrate when you buy the house. You actually
Exactly.
celebrate when you move in.
It's
you don't
like-
celebrate, when you sign the contract, because settlement could still happen.
You
What
just
if, what if
want-
there's an easement on the property?
It's
You
like
just want
some-
double the presents.
Oh, yeah,
Like you
pretty
have
much.
you have
That's
the
all it is.
wedding list of
You're doing
presents
the old
and
double
then
dip.
Engagement, yeah.
engagement party. It's like we want more shit too.
You're like Hancock Road. You're doing the double dip.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's like me being like, I've found a cure for cancer. Give me all the money, and then everyone gives me all the money, and then I'm like, psych. Like you're just saying your intention to do something.
Yeah, exactly. What happens if this drags on for 4 years? It's like, nah, let's not get married. Okay, but we've got all that
Yeah.
free shit
Exactly.
from
You
when
got
we had
the
our
engagement
engagement
presents.
party.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Shotgun keeping. You know what? You can keep the potato masher.
Is anyone still
I
listening?
don't need it. What do you use potato mashers for? I don't know. I'm listening.
Something tells me it's in the name. Think about it.
Okay, so what sort of potato would you use to mash the potato? Would you use a white or a red? Would you use a russet?
I like a russet.
Yeah, you love
I don't like the red.
You don't like the red?
The red is the least favourite.
What? But that is... The
White-
russet is the red one.
No, I'm thinking of a different potato then. I'm thinking of the one that they use at Snits
Potato.
for the chips.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, or like a white potato. I don't want the pink skin, red skin. Nah.
But they're good for roasting. It says on the bag, good for roasting. I have no reason to not believe them. What do you think, Elodie?
It says it on the bag.
It says it on the bag, good for roasting.
I'm not.
Good for roasting, bag for kicking the footy.
Hey, tomato sauce says please refrigerate after opening,
Oh.
which is what everybody should do.
More
But some
off-season
people don't.
content.
We literally are in 2015.
But some people don't do it.
What do you think of a sweet potato?
A yam? Is that what you're? Is that what you're trying to?
A yam?
A yam?
I love a good yam. What about a canned yam? Canned yam?
Candy yams?
No, a canned yam.
Oh,
It's a
canned
yam
yams.
in a can.
No,
Yam in a can.
no.
Just no.
Can that?
No.
So Luke Dalhouse is leading the Dogs with 17 disposals.
Oh, yeah, mate. Yeah. No, he's very ripping it
I've
up.
got a story about Luke Dalhouse. You ready?
What's that? In the middle of our street, yeah.
So,
Bit of madness.
flew to Vancouver.
Yeah. That's Canada?
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm in a hostel.
Yep.
And I somehow got talking to this bloke, and I think the footy was on at the time, and the Bulldogs were playing. And Luke Dalhouse came up, and he said that he knew Luke Dalhouse from a music festival back in the day when he had the dreadlocks. I was like, okay.
Which music festival?
Can't remember.
No, you're off your head on fingers.
Probably. Also 4 games of beer pong deep, so who knows. But he said that he met him at a music festival. Mm-hmm. And Dalhouse has dragged this bloke over and got him to peek through the back of like a combi van or something in the middle of a field.
Hello.
And there's a bloke just having his way with a bird in the back on a mattress.
They were fornicating.
Yes.
I understand, yes.
Yes.
Doing the old horizontal folk dancing melody.
So for
yes, I've heard of it.
So for whatever reason, every time I see Luke Dalhouse now, yeah, that's what I imagine.
You think of Root?
He's come a long way. He's come a long way.
He was coming a long way then too.
He's kicked a goal.
Yeah, half up.
Well, he wasn't the one stooping her in the back, but.
He saw some. Oh, so he was a third party.
Yes.
Yes. So he likes a bit of voyeurism.
Yes, he was observing.
Oh, yeah.
Observation.
Was he commentating?
No.
No.
And if he did, I bet you he wouldn't do as well as we. Well, something tells me he'd be the kind of operator who's like, yeah, he's fucking her. And that'd be it.
Well, as the leading possession getter in this game, he does like to get involved in certain other things.
Yeah, he likes to get his hand around the ball.
Yeah.
He didn't have his hand
the old Turkish grip.
He didn't have his hand anywhere near the ball that day, though. Apparently,
he knows how to get down and dirty, but it's a time and a place. It's a time and a place for that, Luke.
Do you reckon if that's happening, do you just bang on the door and just sort of say, "Hey, keep it down"?
No, let him go.
Interrupt proceedings.
Let him go. It's a music festival. Kids will be kids. They're probably all 21 years old, just living it up, just
rooting.
Yeah, kangarooting everyone.
Kangarooting after a bit of Chemical Brothers. Fuck, I love Chemical Brothers. I remember Push the Button, great album. That only came out 10 years ago in 2015.
You're joking.
Oh, wow.
You're joking. It came out in 2004.
Now, before we sign off for halftime, we just want to thank our sponsors at Trojan. That's Trojan Aluminium, not Trojan Condoms. However, Luke Dalhouse's mate, I hope you were wearing a Trojan condom.
Always remember to frock your cock.
Yes.
Imagine finding out you're conceived in a combi van at a festival.
Yes.
Yeah. You'd want to know if it was restored or not, because that shows if they have money or not. Because if it's an original one and it's got rust, and it's got the original combi engine, the original combi engine was made of magnesium. You could chuck it on a fire and it would just catch on fire. It was like Indiana Jones. Anyway,
Crazy.
back to you.
Science with Peter.
Yeah. Professor Sirocco over here.
Oh, yeah.
But yes, Trojan obviously also bringing your spray of the day. That's why we're just clarifying it is aluminium, not condom.
Yeah, that's right.
If Trojan Condoms were a sponsor and we had a spray of the day segment, now that would work.
That's right. So we've only got 50 seconds left until the three-quarter time is... so the third quarter starts.
What are you looking for in the second half, Peter?
I really, really, really hope that they all have a good time.
What about you, Elodie?
I'm just looking for some more action from the umpires.
As in, you want to see them pay more free kicks, or...?
Yeah. I want to see the umpires get involved.
Okay. I don't like that. Because it's a high-scoring game. If the umpires get involved, it keeps stopping. We want free-flowing football.
Okay, I take it all back.
Thank you, sir.
Goodbye.
All right, that was the halftime show. Thank you to Trojan Aluminium, Nathaniel's Coffee and Panini. It's time for the third quarter to start. And on the call, we've got Ben McLean and Ray O'Hara.
So we're back in the middle here for the second half of the second elimination final, and Jacobs and Minson go at it again. Jacobs brings it out of the air and slams it on the boot forward for the Crows. Can't go far. We've got Lockie Hunter tracking it down. He picks it up and runs backwards to get away from Jenkins. It's not a hard task. He handballs forward there towards Rob Murphy, who gets it on the boundary line. Continues the forward track. to Bontempelli. Bontempelli with another handball, and it's kicked forward for the Dogs. There's a couple of packs there, and that's a very good mark taken by Jack Redpath, I believe it was. And he'll look up to set for the Bulldogs. And he kicks it inside forward, 50 to a 2-on-1 for the Crows. It's punched almost out of bounds, and it does go over with Wallace holding the ball there, Ray.
Yeah, Mitch Wallace, big career ahead of him. They'd never trade him, surely.
You've got to give credit to Redpath there, the man with the hands. Taking another big mark.
Hands. Just like Taylor Walker's foot. So Sam Jacobs down. We've seen in the halftime break, he's double the hit-outs than Will Minson. Ball goes forward. Jenkins almost throws that away instead of marking it, but it gets the free kick, so he'll have a kick anyway.
Sometimes you got to go with a little bit of the theatrical.
They almost pushed him into next week, to be fair.
Taylor Walker lets it over the back. Chase is on. He closes down. The good pressure, but Taylor's given away a free kick. It'll come away with the Dogs. Bob Murphy running through. Gets wrapped up, but gets it off to Redpath. Sorry, that was Hamling. To Cramery.
Oh,
Mitch Wallace gets it off the give and go. Has a shot on goal for the first of the second half, but just fades late.
Tell you what, it was a good shepherd by Dowhouse there.
This is just adding to the inaccuracy of the Bulldogs. This could really come back to bite them in the arse here.
I did say in the last quarter that I felt they were the better footy team, but they're not kicking like it. Because Kareem, bad kicking is what?
Bad kicking is bad football. Let's hope this isn't a bad kick from Brodie Smith, who goes straight down the high diddle.
Straight down the guts.
Lynch can't mark, it goes over the back. We've got number 18, whoever the hell that is, who gives it to Bob Murphy. Dishes a handball out wide, and a kick comes into the forward 50, missing Jake Stringer. Got Lockie Hunter, who dishes a handball back out to Stringer on the half-forward flank, who hacks it forward. You've got Redpath here. He's not bending down and picking that up. He's only good with his hands. He can't bend down. In the end, he mounts a Crows player to try and lock the ball in, and we'll have a ball up about 10 metres from the Bulldogs' goal.
The absolute courage there from Rory Sloane just to throw his head and shoulders over the footy.
The ball comes up, and Sam Jacobs taps it towards the boundary line. We'll have a throw-in, as Rory Sloane sucks in some big ones after copping a big hip and shoulder from Redpath.
And everyone in the room right now is looking at that little graphic popping up and thinking the same thing at the same time. When is it DMAC time?
He has to be entered eventually. McRae picks it up and snaps around the corner, but he doesn't kick a goal. It is a point.
Is it a bit of a break glass for emergency type situation, do we think?
To be fair, with all the warm-up running he's doing up and down the boundary line, he's conserving the kick-to-K ratio.
Caleb Daniel might be the ace in the hole here for the Bulldogs. He's
Unless
so small.
they need anything off the top shelf.
Yeah.
So a great kick out by Smith there. Got to Henderson, who handballed to Sloane. It was kicked forward for the Crows. It's picked up there by Joel Hamling, who handballs forward to Picken. Picken slaps it on the boot towards forward 50. Only as far as Cheney, who gets tackled by a couple, but he gets the handball away. Smith got it to Henderson, who's just dawdling around on the outside there. Gets a handball forward. Dangerfield picks it up. We know this man can run with some pace. He manages to pick it up and get away from his opponent still, and has a lovely kick forward to Taylor Walker. Or Douglas. It could be Douglas there. He kicks to the centre of the ground. And the Crows are in a very dangerous spot here with some overlap run. It's kicked into Luke Brown. Luke Brown run towards goal, and that's a defender's kick for goal if ever I've seen one. He sprays that wide with no pressure whatsoever.
See, the problem in Banksia Park is they don't teach you to kick, they teach you to run. Run for your life, mate.
So the Bulldogs are going to bring the ball out here. They find Joel Hamburgerling, I believe it is, who pumps it up towards the wing. Tory Dixon gets the footy and is then dragged off it by Brodie Smith. It comes to Luke Brown, who hacks it back inside 50 to a contest. Spills to ground. Charlie Cameron to pick the ball up and snap around the corner, and that is a goal.
What a kick!
That's exactly what he needed. Couldn't get near it the first half with 0-2, but he's on the board in the second half, and the lead is extended to 13 points.
Geez, I'll tell you, we're a bit lucky there. I thought Henderson gave away a free kick on the mid-wing, but the umpire, well, Elodie said she wanted to see more from him. It looks like we're seeing less. So
they've put the P away here, and I don't mind it. This is a very high-scoring game, and if there's one thing I like about footy, it's high-scoring games.
This is your kind of footy, isn't it, mate? Shout out to Henderson, who got a mention before, actually. Not having a bad game at the moment, just done a few little nifty things, getting his hands on the footy, took some crucial marks. Won't be acknowledged for it by Crows fans in the long run, but is absolutely having a good 5 minutes of footy.
I feel like he's playing the Lynch role that you mentioned earlier, between the link between defence and attack very well. And He's really setting up a lot of our attacks. Is Charlie with a lovely celebration there.
I think he can come up with better. I'm looking forward to him coming up with a trademark celebration in future.
Riley Knight grabbed that one, grabbed immediately, taken down. As I said in pre-game, hard to trust someone that good-looking that's that tough. So, ball is about to be bounced, thrown up again. Lin Jong, third man up. When will they take that away? Patrick Dangerfield slung with it, gets the boot to it. And Bontempelli takes him away.
Oh, no. That was not supposed to go there.
No, it
The
wasn't.
wrong man got the kick, but it was Stringer who would take him forward. Ball over the top. Jared Grant heard some footsteps, but took the mark anyway over AFLX's very own Kyle Cheney.
I think Cheney very much letting him know that he almost stuffed that one up.
Spindleshanks might want to check the back of his legs because he may have cacard all over them then.
He looks up and goes, I thought I smelled some smelly soft cheese there.
That may be why Kyle Cheney was very hesitant to get too close to him in the follow-up of that mark.
So in comes Jared Grant, who has been prolific in this game for the Bulldogs. Kicks on its way, never even looked like it. And check 1-2 on that microphone because that's to the left.
I don't like the facial hair he's operating with either. Just doesn't suit the haircut for
Oh, here we go. The broke glass option.
Hey.
T-Max out there, everybody.
WorkSafe SA, be advised that the high vis is out. So kick on its way. Hamling. It's Rory Atkins that's been subbed off.
Surprise, he's not happy about it.
No, very popular move for Crows fans, and Redpath with his hands takes another mark.
If that's one thing, it's strong hands.
You've always said it.
Like a vice grip.
You've always said it, and you always will say it. Redpath got hands.
Campo was showing us straight after. Look, with the big right mitt, that's how he's doing it. So if you guys can just cut off his hands, we'll go a long way for us winning this match.
And that's how a key forward should be taking the footy. At the highest point, Hardigan never stood a chance.
No, well, in fairness to Kyle Hardigan, he was playing with a method of playing 10 metres behind his direct opponent just to see what might happen.
That replay was not good for Hardigan's brand.
No.
To close it within a goal, Redpath
up.
comes in, and that's a
got it.
much better kick than his first one. Mind you, same result.
They're back within a goal. 6 points the difference now. 14 and a half minutes to go in the third quarter from the MCG. Redpath, plenty of me time on the screen. And who should arrive? Jake Stringer.
He knows
Where's
where the camera's
That's
at.
where the cameras are. I was just thinking, just with a face like that, do you reckon Redpath could do anything else with his life but be a footballer?
No.
Maybe a foot model.
Ah, yeah.
He could do something with his hands, as Graham alluded to.
Hand model.
A hand model. Even
Call him
better.
George Costanza.
Watch out for that hot water.
So the ball goes back in the middle. The winner of this game will play Hawthorn next week.
And what about the loser?
Gone. They're long gone. Gone.
Elimination.
That's
final.
what it means, my friend. One's going through and one's going home. Will Minson gets it out of the middle. What the hell is going on there? Who lets him run out of there? And he hacks it
what a
straight
mark.
to Rory Laird on a halfback flank.
The flying desk.
Flying desk.
Flying desk, now available at IKEA.
It's called the card. So ball comes Western Bulldogs' way, and that's a strong mark by a very young, very handsome Marcus Bontempelli. He's got leader written all over him, Marcus Bontempelli.
Meanwhile, the coach is thinking, I subbed out the wrong player.
This bloke will be stiff not to win a Brownlow. I'm telling you, he's that good. How old is he? 21? 20?
He'd have to be around this point.
No, he's one of these
Look at his face.
perpetually 17. Look at him, baby-faced, with the arms of a man, the hair of an Adonis.
Big week for him. I heard he shaved for the first time this week.
Won't have to shave for another 3 months.
The kick's on its way, and he's hit the upright. Bad kicking is bad football, and 8 goals 14 to the Dogs, to 10 goals 7 to the Crows.
How many posters have they had? They've had a few.
There's, I think 3 from memory.
And the 19-year-old Marcus Bontempelli adds to it at this stage.
5 more scoring shots and they're 5 points behind. You can't have that in an elimination final. I don't care who you are. So the ball is out on centre wing. I don't know who this bloke is on screen, but
Miscellaneous
if
Bulldogs
you showed
player.
me his number, it'd help.
Joel Hamling, that was, I believe. If not, he gets credit for it.
The ball comes in. Minson goes up against Jacobs. It clean bowls both of them. Boyd gets a handball, goes straight to Henderson. Ends up coming out through Thompson, who hacks the ball forward. It's a 1-on-2 between Walker and... No, 1-on-3. There's surrounding him. In the half-back flank, the ball comes out from the Bulldogs and eventually finds Lockie Hunter. Marked closely by Rory Sloane.
That last stoppage, it went Crouch to Jacobs to Thompson, and there's only one word that comes to mind when those three get the ball, it's speed.
Yes. And, of course, the ball travelled about 3 metres between them.
Pick it up.
Operating in a shoebox.
Matt Crouch.
Another handball from Crouch.
To Laird. Laird goes forward.
Bit of a
cut off. Hunter gets a hand pass out. It's to Lin Jong. Lin Jong gets it to Cramery. And then Easton Wood streaming through the middle of the MCG with his flowing locks. Ball over to Dalhouse, who chips a kick and finds a teammate. That's another mark inside 50 for Marcus Bontempelli.
Crows are trying a bold tactic here, which I'm not sure is paying off, and that is give the Bulldogs as much space as they need.
Yeah, let's not mark Marcus. Old strategy, Cotton.
Yeah, we'll see if it comes off. Look at this, just cutting straight through the middle like Elodie's fork through warm mashed potato. Bontempelli did his best to drop that there, but thought, nah, better hold on to it, be a bad look. Oh, a little bit of claret coming in.
Soft like a knife through French onion steak.
Oh, if I wasn't hungry before that cream, I am now. As I was saying before, the arms of an Adonis, the hair of a Greek god.
Oh, now I feel like steak. Elodie, can you order me a steak?
So Bontempelli comes in to cut this lead. In fact, give the Dogs the lead, and he's missed just to the right.
Missed again.
He's overcorrected there, kind of like Steve Harmison in The Ashes all those years ago.
So we've got Brodie Smith bringing it in from the back line, as he has done so many times tonight with all of these Bulldogs points. Count them all up. I think it's something about 15 so far. He gets a big kick on the right boot, and he hits Rory Sloane with a lovely kick, and it just as good a mark.
Well, I mean, having Rory Sloane matched up against Lin Jong, that's just unfair.
So Sloane goes back. He'll look to kick down the wing with a long kick, you'd imagine. No, he goes short, and he finds Rory Laird.
The flying desk.
Tell you what, the flying desk is playing some sort of quarter here. Not much of a camera angle we're being provided with here.
Matt Crouch, I believe.
So Matt Crouch wheels around on the left peg, puts it towards the forward 50 for the Crows. A big pack. It spills out the back to Wallace, who handballs to Boyd, who just slams it on the boot, and it goes out of bounds on the full.
To be fair, the Bulldog supporter in the front row was wide open.
Just a reminder, if you don't know, the Crows are going to the left of your radio dial.
So the ball is punched out there by Jenkins, and the Crows will reset just outside of forward 50 as we see Beveridge with that tight shirt on, and Camporelli just relaxed as ever.
Luke Beveridge is just missing a moustache.
Isn't he?
He needs a big thick moustache. So tapped down by Jenkins. It's picked up there by Dalhouse, who's set upon. We have another pack here, and we'll probably have another ball up, you'd say. No!
No.
The umpire has given holding the ball.
That is the correct decision. He did drag it in.
He did, yeah.
Thank you to the expert here in the commentary box.
Yes, but as we're a Crows podcast, I have to say, bullshit, big bias.
Luke Dalhouse kicks it back to Boyd.
I can't do the bias thing.
Boyd holds the footy, hand passes, gets it to Biggs. Biggs kicks out of defensive 50. Hunter with the fly. Not really known for that, and probably shouldn't be. Kicked inside Thompson. Gets it off hands of Knight. Bontempelli tries to take the big fella down and does. We'll have a ball up just outside of forward 50 for the Crows. As we see Hunter's attempted mark. Did he get a hand to it? Nope. So ball comes out. Microphone head is everywhere. Kicks forward. Laird gets it forward. Matt Crouch looking for a hand pass, finds one. Gets it to Brown. Laird kicks forward. Gets it to the top of the 50. All Bulldogs back there. And that is a mark to Dale Morris. Tex almost breaks it up, but the ball is out to the outer side wing. Liam Picken takes a mark over Riley Knight.
And Knight there, professional, knew he couldn't win that mark, so he just holds him up a little bit, forces him to kick back over the mark. Delays the play just by a couple of seconds. Football intelligence there by the Woodville West Torrens project player.
Ball goes down the wing. Richard Douglas fights for it, but Brodie Smith cleans it up at the back. He's set upon by Tory Dixon, but he gets the kick away. Scott Thompson.
You can tell from the size of his arms.
And the socks up. Bold move.
Another one that suits the long socks.
Yes. You just can't see him any other way.
No.
I think once
they puts the kick there, but the bounce might work. Henderson out wide. I think he was tying his shoes out there. Ball comes forward. It's Stringer. Wants a bit of camera time, so gives the give and go. Loopy hand pass only, but Dowhouse ignores him, kicks forward. Cheney almost had it, but Stringer's got himself in there anyway. But pay that umpire, that's holding the ball.
Yes, Baldy head.
Tell you what, he's not having a good night. And you know what? Fuck him.
Well done by the super sub, David McKay. I told you he'd have an impact on this game when he came on the field. And he comes straight on. Him and Van Berlo, two of the blonde-tipped assassins for the Crows. Caught Stringer.
Come from a bygone era where if you were going to be a Crows player, you had to be peroxide blonde and about that tall. Midfielder with no particular pace.
Not the best kick by McKay, but he reaches Van Berlo, who kicks it to centre wing, and a good kick there to Dangerfield. Can't quite take the mark. Lynch picks it up and handballs to Laird. Laird back to Dangerfield. Dangerfield getting his skates on. He handballs it back to McKay. McKay does a bit of a dance around Stringer and kicks it towards forward 50 to Taylor Walker with a lovely kick.
Within range here.
Yeah. And I tell you what, with
He's
that
got a leg.
I think he should go back and take this.
I'm having a good look at this man, and I can confirm he's actually got 2 legs.
That is double the amount of chance of him kicking this goal for mine. He could kick it with both feet at the same time. That'd be incredibly impressive.
He's kicked 1 goal 1, and you know what? This is the kind of range you expect him to kick it from. You don't want him kicking it from 30.
Just a relaxed kick from outside 50 from Taylor Walker. It's
What a man!
Taylor Walker!
So the Crows lead by 10 points here at the MCG. They've got the Dogs a little bit on the canvas at the moment. We've got 7.5 minutes left in this third quarter. The Crows just taking a little bit of ascendancy into this one as Taylor Walker launches from 55 out.
Well, you know what? Peter Sirocco wanted everybody to have fun in the second half, and something tells me Taylor is having a bit of fun.
Are you not entertained?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Yes!
As we see the replay of Tex with a big roost.
Just as
from
casual
outside
as
50.
you like. Went over the fence as well. He had no issues from there.
And the celebration. Just a little bit of look at me, I'm from Broken Hill time.
What does his haircut scream to you there?
It screams there's lead in our water supply.
You see Dangerfield gives away. No, there was no advantage paid there. It'll come back. Free kick to Mitch Wallace against Richie Douglas. He looks for a bit of overlap run and gets it from Bob Murphy. He kicks inside forward 50. It's all Crows, but they let it hit the deck. Bold move. Tory Dixon on top of it. He gets jumped on and will get the free kick for a high. Daniel Talia, not sure what happened there. The meeting he had with his brother before the game said that wasn't going to happen.
Allegedly.
You would like Bob Murphy to get his own footy at least once this game, wouldn't you? Rather than just peeling around and getting an easy.
In fairness, at 37 years of age, there's not much else he can do.
I'm partial to a little bit of a.
Oh, don't get me wrong,
action.
you and me both. But at that level, come on, work for something.
No.
We'll leave you two to discuss that off air.
In comes Tory Dixon from just about dead in front, 15 metres. He puts that one through. The Dogs are back in this game.
I reckon that's 4 for Tory Dixon.
3 for Tory Dixon, we're being told by Statsman Ben.
Well, it would not surprise me if he ends up kicking 4 or 5 here.
Would also not surprise me if I was wrong in my count so far, but I think it's 3 to this point. 1 every quarter, at least.
Well, that's the thing. There's been so many goals in this game.
It's hard to keep up.
We're not used to seeing this. So
The customary run to the bench after a goal.
He'll be back on in 30 seconds when the next side comes off.
30 seconds is a long time, I've always said it.
So the Bulldogs managed to close the gap to within 4 points from memory. That's the closest it's been for a fair while. Given they've scored so many behinds, the Crows should get a move on here and put some distance between them. No point in having that ball up; it just stays in the middle.
So Thompson.
Oh, wait up.
Hey.
No, it stays there.
Is that the decision-making process there too there, Cream? You just say, just don't bother.
No.
Just try again.
Yes.
Have another crack at it, boys.
I'm telling you, once Scott Thompson's in a wrestle on the ground, he's either walking away with it or they're balling it up again.
So there is that man, Scott Thompson. He gets a handball out wide to Brown. Brown can't quite find McKay, but Henderson's there to clean it up. He does get it to McKay.
That's a push in the back
handballs to
umpire.
Laird. It doesn't matter. There's advantage paid, and Laird gets it forward to Jacobs. Not the man who you want in this position with the ball. He's not sure what to do with it. He gives it to Crouch, and he handballs over to Dangerfield. Back to Jacobs once more, who chips inside 50. Riley Knight's there running towards it, and he's almost decapitated. That'll be a free kick.
Not his face.
Riley
Not
Knight.
his face. That's a clothesline if I've ever seen one.
The WWE should sign him up after that.
Clothesline, it was a Hills hoist.
Fletcher Roberts, you dog.
So Riley Knight will go back to put the lead back to 10 points. As we've said, a very entertaining game so far, very high scoring.
Clever of Riley Knight to just think, if I don't take the footy here, I might make something happen.
He did
That's
the
his
customary
strategy most of the time.
He did the Rory Atkins one hand at the footy, which was a bold move, but got
Tough
the free
shot.
kick.
So Knight, a
it's a good
lovely
kick.
kick.
It's a
He's kicked
very
a
good
goal
kick.
from Riley Knight. He goes straight to Taylor Walker, who says, great kick. And the Crows are back up by 10 points. We have got 79 playing 69 here at the MCG. 5.5 to go in the third quarter on the Trojan Aluminium scoreboard.
Riley Knight has stamped his name on this game, and he is going to be around for a very, very long time.
Well, he said he was Damon said he was an Eagles
Project
prospect.
player.
Project player. It was a terrible project when he's playing for the Crows.
Absolutely, yeah. I don't rate the Eagles very highly at all, mate. I don't think it was a good choice on their part.
I think the Eagles had they projected him to be a player for them, but he was just too good. He was too good for them.
Oh, and the consistency
Yeah.
of a long period of time.
Maybe their project worked so well.
So
It went full circle.
Yeah.
interesting stat there. The Dogs have had 10 inside 50s for 2 goals, 5, where the Crows, I think it was 6 inside 50s for 4 goals. So that has been the difference in this second half so far.
Shout out to Marcus Bontempelli with that one.
That was a terrible bounce by the umpire, so he'll throw it up. Good boy.
He won't
Gets
be
it
getting
out.
a recall back for the grand final. That's
No,
for sure.
Sloan head over it like he always does. Flicks a hand pass out. There's the goal scorer, Knight. A foot race with Scott Thompson. He should win that, but Scott Thompson wins it somehow. But the ball goes out of bounds.
The old Scott Thompson might have run away with that one, but he's just not as young as he once was.
No, he's over-invested in bulking up. You know, he's
Yes.
like hitting Super Saiyan level 3. You get all the power and all the muscle, but none of the speed.
Now, if he was built by Spindle Shanks, he wins that 10 times out of 10.
Absolutely.
Gets hacked out.
Bontempelli kicks that one forward. That's without the footy, and that should be a free kick to Rory Laird, and is.
The desk.
He needs to put on some size.
I'm going to look up the flying desk in Swedish.
Please do. It's going to be insightful if nothing else.
Gets it across to Luke Brown. Luke Brown takes off for a bit of a run. Kicks down the line now. All Bulldogs out the back of this contest, but Henderson fights his way into it.
He's done
Hand
well.
passes over the back, but
There
too
was
big.
4 of them.
Hand passes too big. Biggs kicks forward, finds Dowhouse, who's got a bit of overlap run here from Cramery. Is it Cramery or Stringer?
Doesn't
he went
matter.
for goal, so it looks like Stringer. That's Cramery.
And,
Another missed handball from the
before we
Bulldogs.
take,
They've been very sloppy.
Before we take this kick in flying desk is Flyganda Skrivbord.
You heard it here. You
Available
heard it
at
here
IKEA.
first, everybody.
Available at all your favourite IKEAs,
Yes.
next to the cheese boards and washing lines.
In the Skrivbord section.
There's Rory Sloan just doing what he does and mucking in.
It's
Looks
been
like the
held to him,
umpire's
but is
going
he
to
gonna
pay this
it?
one.
Oh,
paid it.
umpire. Elodie, we told you to keep him out of this game. This is why.
Yeah, this is Elodie's fault.
Liam Picken, surely nothing can derail his illustrious career. Gets pulled back.
Not even a broken back could stop him.
It's like,
No.
hang on, I wasn't watching.
Well, surely he's not going to go the Tex Walker route, because I'm sorry, Billy, you don't have it in you.
Billy,
No.
don't be a hero.
He doesn't. I'd need 3 kicks from there, so
Shout out to his old man, Billy.
kicks on its way to the top of the square, to the hot spot.
It's a
Lin-
good
Oh,
kick.
what a
Lin
mark.
Jong
Great mark.
jumps over and grabs that one. Interestingly, Lin Jong with the right leg taped. Is it the one that's injured? We know he's a bit partial to taping the wrong side.
A bit of ducks and drakes, do you reckon, mate?
Yeah.
Impressive.
No, he's just wrote R on the. He just gets confused sometimes.
Yeah.
I kick with this one.
Impressive set of hands there. Could have confused him for Jack Redpath for those hands, but.
Let's see if he can be a bit more accurate than the rest of the team during this third quarter. It is the premiership quarter. Kicks on its way, just guides that one through it. Didn't really kick through it at all. And Lin Jong puts them back within 3.
And he turns around to his teammates and he says, "That's how you kick it, fucking straight."
But he ran to the wrong position, so...
He doesn't know how to run straight, he just kicks straight. That's all he needs to know how to do.
It's like when you say something good as you're leaving somewhere and then you're like, shit, I don't have to go anywhere.
Yeah. It's almost as awkward as saying goodbye to someone at a venue and realising your car park's right next to each other.
Yeah.
This might be the first time all game that someone's kicked a goal and hasn't come off the ground, and I think that's why, because they need someone that can kick a goal.
I just thought it was because he got lost going to the bench. Turn around.
He didn't think his leg could make it.
He's a little bit generous to be paid the mark almost. He juggled it towards the end and just let it bobble out, but...
You've got to give him an A for effort.
You have to. As we go back to the middle here, and it's Jacobs and Minson again, and it's straight down to Thompson, who can't get rid of it. It's pushed forward for the Dogs, but Van Berlo picks it up and gives it to Douglas. Douglas kicks it to the wing. And a mark taken there by Dale Morris, who sets off away from Tom Lynch. He says, "I've got you covered for speed pretty easily," and he kicks towards the forward 50 for the Dogs. There's a few players around and no one can take hands to it. Smith and Van Berlo there. Van Berlo with the 360 over the head handball to Douglas. Douglas to Brown. Brown, the composed head coming out of 50 for the Dogs. And he hits Scott Thompson straight on the chest in the middle of the wing. Thompson turns around and heads toward forward 50 where Jenkins just wrestles off his man. That's the toughest sack Josh Jenkins has ever made on a football field. Could he kick it from there? No, I don't think so.
Well, he has a crack at it.
He has a very big kick there, and he heads toward Eddie Betts, who goes to ground, and that was never going to work very well, Eddie.
Tell you what, that ball coming out of half-back was very good with the pirouette. Not sure if it was Richie Douglas.
It was.
The ballerina operation, I don't need a leotard, look at me.
So Boyd brings it out for the Western Bulldogs, just outside 50 for the Crows, and Hardigan takes the easiest mark you've ever seen.
I'm shocked and confused, ladies and gentlemen. Don't know what I'm watching.
Van Berlo with plenty of time to set up. He kicks it towards forward 50. Charlie Cameron can't take it. Lynch picks it up and snaps it out of the air. He hits the post.
Another poster.
Another poster indeed. That's 5 or 6 for the game so far.
Who do we think's more sunburnt? Sam Jacobs or Tom Lynch? Kyle Cheney's up there as well.
I'm going to go with Sam Jacobs because he's closer to the sun.
Yeah.
Good
I
call.
mean, both of them are playing under lights right now, so it's anyone's game.
You heard of a tanning salon?
The pair of them just need to open the glove compartment in the car, don't they, and get burnt?
Yeah. There's some Dangerfield.
Surely if they're smart, one of them buys a Solarium. Just have the
shares
other
it
one
between the
around
two.
once a week.
I think they better get onto it quick because they might be hard to find later in life.
Yeah, preferably a Tuesday. Call it Tuesday tan night.
Scott Thompson gets this one forward because there's about a minute to go in this third quarter. Bob Murphy around the back like he always is. Kicks it out wide, finds a teammate in Easton Wood who should be able to clean up from there.
Easton Wood, whose nickname should really be Western Marshland.
Jesus. between Western Marshland and Sticky...
Sticky Cathedral, was it?
Sticky Cathedral.
Yeah. And Easton
Here he
Wood
is.
takes
Western Marshland.
Western Marshland.
He switches.
So Bob Murphy, uncontested again, as Cream said. Hunter gets the ball.
Oh, here we go.
McKay, the impact player, gets it to Thompson, who kicks to the top of the square. And Easton Wood flies back and puts this one out of bounds. Hits the behind post.
Selfless act there. Good defending.
Now that I think about it, the Solarium, the Tuesday, let's combine everything with the teas on the Tuesdays. Sam Jacobs and Tom Lynch should open tacos and tanning on Tuesdays.
Eddie Betts is onto this one. He
Eddie.
snaps it goal.
Oh, Eddie.
Eddie Betts. How do you like it? That's 5 for Ed.
But
With only 11 seconds to go in the quarter.
Nobody can see him. It seems like he's been let off the chain all night. It's almost as if he's invisible. He's kicked 4?
5 now.
5.
He's not that sure.
Well, you would think that someone would keep an eye on him.
Yeah, you'd reckon you'd go to him around a stoppage because he can do stuff like that to you.
So damaging.
You see him slip the Mitch Wallace attempted tackle, arms out. Tell us about it, Eddie.
What was that celebration? It was almost like hitting
Almost
a
a
home
golf
run.
swing or something, wasn't it? Yeah. A bit of a swinging motion.
He didn't go the full swing, though. I think that would have been caught centre field.
Graham, have you ever got halfway through a celebration and thought, nah, better not?
No.
You just commit, don't you?
Like, if I go off on a celebration, it can't be anything to do with running or ping a hamstring. So I would just be the one finger in the air kind of operator.
So
one in the air, one on the back hamstring.
Yeah.
Ball up. Rory Sloane over it, but it comes to Scott Thompson, who just lays on it. Should see out the quarter here.
Not like these soccer shenanigans these days. People score goals and they're sprinting all the way down to the corner flag and sliding on the ground. You're just asking to do a streak.
So three-quarter time at the MCG. It's the Crows 13-9-87, leading the Western Bulldogs 10-16-76. An 11-point margin as we head into the final quarter here at the MCG. We wait and see who can win this one to head on to play Hawthorn.
While we're at it, gentlemen, what would your celebrations be? If you kicked a goal in footy, what would your go-to be?
You just got to get around the boys.
I got to say, this question for me is just so fictional that I would jump in my spaceship, do 2 tours of Mars, and come home with Elizabeth Hurley.
All right, just
let's
imagine it's netball.
Yeah, let's imagine it's AFL 9s in the Adelaide Parklands.
Yeah.
And you're up for it.
Yeah.
You kick a goal. What do you do?
No, I'm a bit of a simple operator. I think I would just sort of stop, prop, acknowledge the crowd, one finger up.
Okay.
I'm doing these ones. Get at me.
Look at me.
Yeah. Look at me.
All eyes on me.
Reckon I'd go with the Charlie Cameron spin of the finger, I reckon. If it's a bit of a fancy goal on the run from a tight angle, I'm going with the finger spin.
Or maybe give it a Charlie Cameron, cook it up.
Yeah, love that.
And what about you, Leighton? You're getting around the boys. You're just...
Yeah, all the double cobras.
Okay, double cobras.
Oh, and as we see Sam Lane interviewing yet another Bulldogs virgin.
He's holding him hostage. He won't let him go.
Tell you what, Gil McLaughlin looks very young there.
Doesn't he?
He does.
You just hope that he's not one of those blokes that looks like he's going to age 20 years in the next 5.
I feel like Gil's just waiting to get out of the road to go to the toilet.
Yeah.
Richard, get out the way, mate.
Come on,
The
man.
water's about to start.
There's already a queue.
And Sam Lane keeps asking him questions. Gil's thinking, fucking man,
All right.
I'm not going to make it back.
As we settle in for the final quarter here in this elimination final, it's the Western Bulldogs 76, just down to the Adelaide Crows 87. Bulldogs have probably been the better team for a lot of this night. Crows know what they need to do to get on top here as Elimination just decides to cut out the broadcast by walking in front. Unbelievable professionalism here from the Crowject.
How many goals do you think Crows need to win this, considering they're 2 goals
At
up?
least one more.
More than the Bulldogs.
With how high the scoring it's been, I think you need 4 or 5.
Need a few.
I like it.
As we go up in the middle here, it's taken down by Mitch Wallace, who handballs to McRae. McRae hacks it forward for the Dogs. No mark can be taken there by Bontempelli. Dowhouse even, who hands it out to Caleb Daniel, who's come on as the sub.
Break glass in case of emergency.
So Bontempelli inside forward 50 to Dixon, and it is an emergency for the Crows. That was far too easy.
Caleb Daniel knee-high to a grasshopper.
Where's the helmet? Because he's around everyone's knees.
So Dixon will go back and try and cut this lead to 5 points and really put the Dogs within a close margin as we head into this last quarter. And
nice kick.
They've started all of the quarters quickly so far. A goal within a minute or two every time.
I think the Crows need to address the slow starts and get a mind together, like a collective group of minds or something.
Oh, yeah.
So
Ray,
Dixon goes back and makes no mistake there. And the Dogs, Dixon's 4th goal brings them back to within 5 points, setting up a big last quarter here at the MCG.
It has been goal for goal. The last 12 goals has been alternating teams. Whoever gets the consecutive goals will have a good chance, I reckon.
Do you reckon consecutive goals wins from here, Leighton?
Yeah, last quarter. You'd think it'd tighten up score-wise, but you never know. It's been a very free-flowing game.
Has been. And I think it was mentioned before that the umpires have just sort of put the P away, which is making for some very entertaining footy. The substitutes have been made. We need to let Fox... Here we go. Thank you, Fox Footy, for updating your graphics.
Sticky
It is
Cathedral's
Sticky
off.
Cathedral off.
Yeah. Just
Rory.
the name's too long. Just
Yeah.
get him off.
Too hard.
Hard to call, so.
Commentators have gone
Make the
to him
sub.
during the break and just been like, look, make it easy for us.
That's it.
We can call the other bloke Helmet Head. It just works.
Bob Murphy streaming away.
Screaming.
He
really
managed
good
to win
mark.
that ball for himself there. Impressive from him.
Tory Dixon's having a spit. Don't know why. He's already kicked 5. So it comes out of the wing. Ricky Henderson marks. Props. Probably going to go up the line. No, he brings it inside on a 45
Nice
and
kick.
manages to find Richie Douglas, who turns, plays on, pumps it inside 50, where there's a one-on-one deep between Jenkins, but there's a drop back there, and that was from Joel Hamling, who manages to take the mark.
A little bit harsh for Jenkins not to get a free kick there. It was being held a bit early on in that passage of play.
So it comes out of the half-back flank from the Bulldogs. That's a mung of a kick.
Oh,
Eventually
clever
lands with
tap.
the golden ticket in McKay, who handballs it off to Luke Brown, pumps it back to the top of the goal square. Jenkins can't take the mark, but he crumbs. Gets a handball out to Rory Sloane, who gets tackled by 2, including Dale Morris. They're going to wrap the ball up, unless Eddie Betts rips it out of Morris's hands, but no, it's coming back.
Eddie Betts was dead set streaming behind Josh Jenkins half a second ago, thinking this is it, goal square on here.
Yeah, Jenkins always drops it.
Bold move by Jenkins when he had 2 players in the goal square to hand pass to the point post.
So there was a ball up 3 metres out from goal. It gets hacked out by McRae and eventually comes to Cramery, who dishes a handball on his outside to Wood, to Dalhouse, to Wallace. Comes out to the wing, but it's all Crows here. Thompson gives it to Dangerfield, who handballs into the middle, finds somebody. Talia. It eventually comes back out to the wing, and that's Fettuccini, who pumps it to a half-forward flank. That's a big climb from Sam Jacobs.
Nearly.
But he ends up giving it up. That's a shame. The flying desk flies under scrambled. Bumps it inside 50 and it ends up hitting the behind post. We'll have a ball up.
Cream, going where commentators can only dream, mate.
Where's the script board section? I need the flag under one. The ball comes in. It's a ball up between Sam Jacobs and Minson. Somehow
goes to Eddie Betts.
It goes to Eddie Betts. McKay gets a handball out. It ends with Eddie Betts again. Snaps across the face of goal.
Ball's just bobbling around here. Eddie's trying to make something happen.
It's a pinball machine. Somehow.
Scott the Pipes Thompson.
Tree trunk arms Thompson.
And the best thing about Scott Thompson kicking a goal so close to the goals is getting to watch that illustrious body just run back to the middle in slow motion.
Oh, the physique.
So you think he's hot too, Ray?
Oh, yeah.
If you're Scott Thompson when you kick a goal, the double cobra is coming out every time.
Oh,
Mandatory.
They have to.
Mandatory. If I was him, I would just do squats.
If
just
I was
do a
him,
round
I
of
wouldn't
squats
even
to
own
celebrate.
T-shirts.
How pissed off would you be being Josh Jenkins and seeing how many goals have been kicked that close to goal tonight? You haven't got one of them.
Oh, as they show a little bit of a throw there by Rory Sloane, but he's good looking as well, so let it go.
I think that's what the Bulldogs fans are currently booing.
So it's 1 goal apiece here in the 4th quarter as the ball goes back up in the middle, slapped forward by Will Minson. Dalhouse is holding Dangerfield without the footy. It eventually comes out to Wallace, who gives it to Lin Jong, slams it inside forward 50 to a one-on-one. At the back you've got Hardigan, who's wrapped up very quickly by Redpath. Comes out to Helmet Head in Caleb Daniel. Gives off the handball to Liam Pickin, who kicks into the middle of the ground and manages to find, is that Spindleshanks?
I think it might be.
Or is
It
that?
is.
Yeah, it is Spindleshanks.
The
The
man
guy
with
who can't kick.
Yes.
I've
How
just
many
worked
points
out
has
what
he
his,
got?
I've just worked out what his beard looks like.
Yeah, what?
He looks like the terrorist scene in Team America.
Yes.
That's right.
Just painted on.
My favourite line in that movie is Cairo. That's in Egypt. And it's hot
As
marks
he
for
comes
trying,
in.
mate.
So
With a
Jared
shot 50
Grant's going
metres
to let
out.
it rip.
Hang on.
You know,
Is this the
kicked
right
it.
person?
give him
Oh
that.
my God.
Give him that. If you give a bloke enough chances, eventually,
Eventually.
So that brings it to the last 14 in a row that have been
Exactly.
switching sides, kicking the goals. That's very impressive.
It's the consecutive goals, people. If you do that, you win.
I'm dubbing this the Leighton effect.
So Jared Grant a bit more screen time than he's probably deserved.
Not sure about the tattoo either.
No.
Looks like an anchor on his forearm. Just needs a W in front of it. He'll be right.
Yeah. He's just a confused man, isn't he?
That is one of the most interesting kicking actions I think I've ever seen.
And that was an intense high five then.
I think he needs to do something with his hair.
The latent effect
very
in full
uninspiring.
effect here. Bulldogs, Crows, Bulldogs.
What
Crows.
an anti-climax by the umpire. There should be a
drag him
absolute,
off.
Yeah, get
Take
rid of
him
him.
off.
He's
Get a sub.
Sub him.
He's bounced that in the middle of the MCG and it's landed in Footscray.
That footage of Eddie Betts getting rubbed down as well shouldn't be on free-to-air TV.
No. I very much hope that doesn't awaken anything in me as Dangerfield picks up the ball and has a look upfield.
I've seen a documentary like that online once, but as we see Dangerfield kick long, Taylor Walker over the back, brings it to ground.
Oh, good hip and shoulder by Cameron.
Charlie Cameron onto it, but Tex gets him late, but allowed to go. Luke Brown almost has the mark, but Picken will clean this up. I think there's an Oz kicker on the ground. No, it's Caleb Daniel. And the ball spills over the boundary line. We'll have a throw in.
You wonder if the helmet's his own choice or whether his mother's still telling him to wear it.
Well, she does tie his shoes, so she can have say on that.
You can't help but...
I know he's the sub, but they shouldn't have brought someone from the crowd.
Mitch Wallace gets the hand pass forward. Brown over the top of it, gets it out, but it's spoiled. Ball's just pinging around in there. Picken tries to get a kick off. Dangerfield fights for it. McRae, as we'll see,
Pushed him in the back.
that is in the back.
Just fell into it.
Richie Douglas has got his phallic print on the back of McRae there.
He's honestly ridden him through the ground there. He's 6 foot under. Halfway to China.
Cream, you and I need to do a quick geography lesson, mate, but okay. Hardigan in his natural habitat, well and truly behind the leading forward.
I'm telling you, China is only 12 feet away.
So Dangerfield wins a free kick on half back for the Crows. He'll look to reset with 14 minutes left in this elimination final. He bombs it long to a big pack, and it looks like Lynch might be there, but he can't quite take it. Sloan ends up getting it in handballs to Knight. Knight back to Walker on the left. He puts it right inside 50 towards Jenkins. He can't take it with the 1 mid. It almost spills to Cameron. Jenkins gets it back somehow. He dances around his man, snaps on the right, and Jenkins can't quite get it.
It's still in the field of play.
Still in
It hasn't gone through.
Where's VAR when you need it, for fuck's sake?
Absolutely.
So the Bulldogs look to come out through Wallace here. He takes a settling mark, but it's called play on. Smith corrals him a bit, but Wallace ends up getting a kick away only as far as Walker, but it's taken there by Fletcher Roberts. And Fletcher Roberts kicks forward for the Dogs towards Picken, and Picken takes a mark.
This is a good build-up here from the Bulldogs.
It is. Can they cap it off with a goal at this end and put themselves in front for the first time in a couple of quarters? Jared Grant could have done a bit better there, and it spills just outside 50. We'll have a ball up right on the paint there as Lin Jong gets himself up.
To see.
Here's the VAR.
Oh, yeah, it's well in.
That's good goaltending.
That's really good by Dalhouse, who's been impressive.
Has been.
As we see him again on cue, gets it to Hunter. Hunter kicks forward. We've got a mark inside 50. There's
Another
Bulldogs
mark
players
inside 50.
screaming forward, asking for it. But Tory Dixon says, this is about me, boys. Forget it.
Well, to be fair, he hasn't missed tonight, and he hasn't looked like missing, and he's one of maybe 3 that look accurate every time they kick the footy for the Dog.
Got a sweatband on, which is a bold move.
He's kicked 4 straight. Can he make it 5?
A contingent of Adelaide fans who have made the trip over the border.
He's no Jason Poor-Pleasure, but he is pretty accurate, this bloke.
Kicks on its way, looks good off the boot, is good. And that's put the Bulldogs in front for the first time in a long time.
Tell you what, the silence here at Fullerton Road absolutely tells the story. There's a few Bulldogs fans looking at each other with a bit of a can we, could we, should we look about them.
So that's Dixon's 5th of the night, and as Cream alluded to, he's been one of the more accurate people on the ground when he's surrounded by people like Stringer, who's kicked 3 points, Cramery's kicked 3 points, Bontempelli's kicked 2, and Grant's kicked 2. It's impressive to have 5 straight on the evening.
So the ball's going to go back into the middle here with the Crows looking to pinch 1 or 2 in a row. I think they're going to need at least 2 to get home here.
I reckon you're right.
So while we're resetting, I would love it if someone could bring me an amazing Crom Udi right now, available on Big Cartel 59. Pete, can I send you on a mission to get me the Udi, please? I'm a little bit chilly.
Meantime, the ball goes up in the middle. Will Minson crumbs his own tap and manages to kick it forward, where there's a bloke all on his own.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my.
It's the
Don't
Oz
know
kicker.
how he found so much space.
Well, it's Caleb Daniel. They probably didn't see him. Kicks on its way.
He kicks and misses, and it was Stuart Cramry who misses again. One of the blokes that Bev was just talking about. The Bulldogs carrying a 2-point lead, 13 goals, 17. They could very well have blown this game wide open.
Love the footy water bottle there from Bevo up in the box.
And it could come back to bite him. So the flag under scoreboard kicks it out towards the wing. It ends up with Biggs, who kicks it back inside 50. Talia spills the mark, and it comes to Jake Stringer, who's done munga no guts.
And if anyone's going to celebrate, it's the string.
Tell you what, I'd be mad, but I'm way too comfortable in my patented Crom Udi.
And a celebration
change
like
the subject. Where can you get that Crom hoodie?
That's it. Move it around. Where did I get it from? That's Big Cartel /Crowject.
A celebration like that.
No, that's not it.
A celebration like that from Stringer, if you don't go for the Bulldogs, just makes you want to punch the bloke square in the fucking nose.
I think there's a big stat that we've missed out on for the night, is that umpires Nichols, Hosking and Schmidt are numbers 15, 16, 17.
Illuminati confirmed.
So the ball's back in the middle for what must be the 30th time, quite literally.
You're not even over-exaggerating there. The ball goes up. Jenkins just airies that ruck tap. And Wallace kicks forward. The Bulldogs are on a roll here. Cheney over the back. Smith cleans that one up. Kicks it to centre wing. Chase is on. Big tackle there.
Bang!
D-Mac has been everywhere, but Biggs gets a hand pass. And who's around the back? Bob Murphy. Kicks inside. Great kick. And that is not a good mark there by Fletcher Roberts.
Here's Charlie Cameron.
Charlie Cameron, get the Jets on.
Oh, that's a smart kick.
Eddie Betts over the back, it's just beat him. Oh, and Easton Woods punches it through for a rush behind.
It was sort of that in-between kick where he didn't quite go for goal, didn't quite hit Eddie.
Caught in two minds.
Yep.
That one's if I make it look like I'm trying to go for Eddie and kick the goal anyway, I'm still a superstar.
Exactly.
Tell you what, wouldn't you have your balls in your throat if you Fletcher Roberts, though, watching the Crows go towards goal after you drop that one?
Yep.
We need to get you a carry case, mate.
Tex bustles through. Gets it to Riley Knight, who's been everywhere. Crouch kicks rarely, and he's kicked on goal, and it's a point. Crows are trying to catch up in behinds here. Bold strategy, Cotton.
Meanwhile, there was
they only need 6 more.
Very, very strange hand pass there from Matt Crouch. I don't know what he was attempting.
So Bob Murphy with another easy touch brings it in from the back line. The ball comes down to Rory Laird. It's handballed out to Thompson, but his kick gets smothered. The Dogs move forward through Stringer, who gets it to McRae. McRae to Bontempelli. Bontempelli on the leg. Kicks it inside forward 50. In fact, here's Stringer on the end of the kick. A bit of me time for Jake, but he can't pick the ball up past Talia.
Well done,
Talia
Jenny.
manages to keep it in, and he kicks it outside the back 50 for the Crows towards the centre wing, but it's all the Bulldogs, and Lin Jong takes a mark. He handballs to Daniel, but it's a horrible handball right over his head. Daniel has time to settle. He kicks towards forward 50, and the Dogs are inside again. It's Dixon out the back. He can't quite take it. Well done by Smith.
Crucial spoil.
Tell you what, I don't know who it was that handballed that to Caleb Daniel then, but they must have forgot he was 4'2". How tall they think he is? 6'1".
They say Smith taking another kick in.
Oh, the stats patter.
He's going to have a Sharon imprint on his foot tonight. Douglas tries to fly, but the ball goes straight to the Dogs. Marcus Bontempelli, that's nearly the closest he's been to a goal all night, and he's put it 15 metres out on the bounds on the full.
Crow's going to take the kick in here. 9 minutes 54 to go in the fourth quarter. The Western Bulldogs leading by 7 points.
Do you think the Bulldogs are going to start to slow it down?
Too early.
Too early.
I reckon.
Yeah.
So Smith brings it in. It eventually ends with Talia, who kicks it out to the wing, and that's a very good mark there by Ricky Henderson, who handballs it off to Nathan Van Berlo, goes absolutely nowhere. Back to Ricky Henderson, stabs it into the middle and finds Scott Thompson.
Yeah, I'm not really sure Van Berlo needed the football there. I
Another
think he just
pointless
wanted
handball.
Stat padding.
It eventually comes inside 50, and they hit Taylor Walker on the chest.
The captain.
This is Texas' spot here.
Yep.
Right distance.
If he can kick it from 65, he can kick it from 49.
We've just had a message in from Elodie as well. He will use his foot.
He will. Okay. Thumbs up from Elodie.
So Tex on his way. Moustache questionable. Kicking skill. Never in doubt. That's straight through the middle.
Yes.
That's a big goal for the Crows. Puts them back within one. We got 8 minutes 53 to go, and there's 1 point in it. Buckle in, Crows fans. We're in for a barnstormer.
An absolute humdinger coming up, Mr. Ray.
So Jenkins trying to give Walker some advice there, and I don't know if he's the man I'd be taking it from. Hopefully he's just telling him how to drink from the water bottle. That's about as far as I would like Josh to give him advice.
If my lip reading skills said pizza after this.
If he's telling him anything about kicking goals, Taylor Walker's just got to turn around and say, mate, at least I roam more than 10 metres out of the goal square.
Yeah. That's the celebration you want to see from your leader too. Just one arm up in the air, never in doubt. Passion all over that moustache.
Pain in the eyes of McRae. As the ball goes up in the centre again, it's Jacobs who wins it out and hacks it forward. Who's there? Is Tex there? No, it's Douglas. He can't quite take it, but he gets it on the boot only as far as Wood. It's tackled by Walker and the ball is bobbling around on the ground. Fletcher Roberts can't do much with it. Back to Douglas somehow, who gets it inside 50, this time towards Jenkins. Jenkins and his man, it goes over the line. Dale Morris just lets it go over as Charlie Cameron's on the ground.
Just having a little nap. He's all right, just recharging.
He just woke up.
Big believer in the micro nap is Charlie Cameron. Just 10 seconds down every now and then, refresh, up you get.
I think he's got a blood nose there.
Oh, well, that's different.
So we've got a ball in deep inside the Crows forward 50, 8 minutes to go. Jacobs gets it down, but only as far as Wallace, and it's tackled. And Dangerfield has the ball, gets it to his foot somehow. The ball just bobbling around, no one can really take it out. And we'll have another ball up, about 25 out from the Crows' goal.
It's picked up a little bit here. The intensity around the footy's picked up.
We need to rush a point or something. I'm nervous. I want the draw.
So the ball comes out. Mitch Wallace flicks it forward through hand passes. Cramery gets it to Bob Murphy, who kicks smothered, but he gets his own footy. Gets it out to Boyd. Boyd kicks forward. Ball should be broken up by Talia and is. He looks wide. Who's he got out there? Riley Knight running after the footy. Gets tackled. Should get this away and does. Luke Brown onto it. Brodie Smith runs away with this one. Puts it on to the hands, which was odd for Brodie Smith. Tom Lynch kicks forward. It's Eddie on one. Ball comes down to Easton Wood. Numbers get back for the Bulldogs. Hand pass missed by Minson there, and we'll have a boundary throw in on the forward 50 for the Crows.
I love that Minson actually looked full lawn then if you look back on the replay when the ball went past him. He just, no, I've made a mistake.
Ball comes in. Sam Jacobs down to Dangerfield. Dangerfield on it. Been quiet all night, Dangerfield.
Well held.
Looking for something big from Dangerfield in the last 7 minutes.
20 minutes into the fourth quarter and anything could be happening. Ben McLean, over to you.
Okay, so Picken gets tackled with it there by Dangerfield. The ball is not going far. The umpire doesn't ball it up surprisingly, and it gets out to a Bulldogs player. He's tackled there by Sloan, and the ball bobbles around on the ground. Douglas picks it up. He's looking for a teammate anywhere. He finds Thompson, but he can't do anything with it. Somehow Douglas gets a kick to it on the ground. And Sloan tackles his man across the line. I think it was Dale Morris. And we'll have another throw in here.
Sloan's put absolutely everything into this game. He's busted his guts. The ball comes in. Down. Hunter comes away with it. Ball's out to McRae. On centre wing, struggles to pick it up and is tackled when he does by Smith. Lin Jong over the top of it. Ball is trapped in amongst 4 players. Should be balled up. And is. See the ruckman come in. Sam Jacobs with another hit out. Almost finds Thompson, but Bontempelli will come away with it. Ball down. Henderson, best place for it. Bounce wasn't kind. Jared Grant onto him. The flying desk kicks it. And finds Dangerfield.
Where did he come from?
Lucky kick. Dangerfield comes inside.
Oh, what
That's
a great
just
kick.
missed. Almost hit David McKay, but Tom Lynch will kick it up
Good
and
inside
find
50.
Taylor Walker.
Oh,
Taylor Walker within range.
he is within range.
He's got some form from here tonight.
I think most of my very fond, happy memories of Taylor Walker are right here, just at this sort of angle, just at this distance outside of 50.
Yeah.
He knows what to do from here.
Got to at least get a point. Come
So
on.
kicking at a
Gotta get
30-degree
something.
angle to the
Go the
broadcast side. Taylor Walker comes in and...
Just fades across the face, and that'll be a
Well,
behind.
Layden's
And
got
the
his
ball
wish.
Stuck him.
Got a point.
The ball was stuck.
And I'm bringing the commentator's curse back in vogue, apparently.
All right, when's extra time? Come on.
So it would normally be at this point of the broadcast where we flash up the extra time rules, but we have decided not to do it at this stage. The Dogs bring it outside of their back 50, only as far as Thompson, who's set upon by Picken. It gets it to Dangerfield, who puts it on the left, not his foot of choice. A pack forms at the top of the square. No one can pick it up.
Oh.
Dangerfield gets there again. He's done very well. Out to Henderson to the side, who snaps. He won't score from there. It'll just float across, and Eddie's right underneath it. He picks it up, and it's smothered.
No!
That could have been it right there, but the Crows are in front by a point.
Great smother.
15-13, 103, 14-18, 102.
Tell you what, Ricky Henderson thought he was going to be the hero there, but I'm sorry, mate, that's not how storybooks work.
Nice smother on the line by the Dogs. A flying desk on it. Van Berlo been good all night.
5
Crammery.
minutes to go, guys.
Right.
Rory Laird gets tackled, strong enough to fight his way over the line. We'll have a ball in instead of a ball up, which will, give us better field position.
Yeah.
Ball comes in. Umpire flings it in the air. Winton wins it down. Crouch hand passes back to Henderson. Henderson's kick forward floats out of bounds on the fall.
Not good.
And Fletcher Roberts cops one in the back of the head from Tex for his troubles.
Tell you what, I hope those photographers are getting danger money because one of them nearly lost a lens and a head.
That's 50K's worth of Sigma lenses.
So Fletcher Roberts brings this one back in. Kicks down the line. Pack forms.
Sauce.
Strong hands.
Good
by
job, Sauce.
Big Sauce Jacobs.
Take
He
your
holds
time,
things
Sauce.
up. Bit of clock management already. Kicks down the line. Taylor Walker flies, but Dangerfield from the side. Almost paid. Is paid.
Yes, great mark.
Should go to Dangerfield. It does. Dangerfield.
Too far out for him.
I don't know if he thinks he's Tex here, but he doesn't have this one in him. Dangerfield, short kick, chose against it, just kicks it to the point post, odd kick, and chopped off by Dale Morris.
Odd is the word there, Ray. There was neither coming nor going, nor was it arriving. It was just sort of circling. Dangerfield had no clear intention with that kick.
Ball to the wing. Riley Knight, who's been everywhere, almost collects that one, but Lin Jong escorts him to the line.
He gives him a friendly tap in the chest for good measure.
So
It's a very wholesome moment there.
Yeah, it's just a, how you going, mate? Good to see you out here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't been playing footy for 116 minutes, right?
No, we'll catch up later, right?
Yeah, ends up with Lin Jong, who kicks it up in the air. It goes absolutely nowhere, couldn't be marked by anybody. Ends up coming to Brodie Smith, who can't get a handle on it. Richie Douglas is trying to extract the footy, but gets wrapped up by Helmet Head and Mitch Wallace, and we'll have a ball up. Just forward to centre wing.
This is what the Crows want, stoppages after stoppage. Waste that clock.
3 minutes 30 and
That's a
counting.
throw.
It comes out to Biggs, who's wrapped up by Tommy Lynch. Paddy Dangerfield just jumps on there for good measure. He just wants a cuddle.
stat padding again.
Yeah. He needs more facial hair, Paddy Dangerfield. I think he'd go well with it. Comes down to Will Minson, who hacks the ball forward,
good
but
mark.
it goes absolutely nowhere. And the Ginger Ninja, Fettuccine, takes the mark on the wing. Goes to head forward to a contest, and that's
that's a
another
great
magnificent
mark.
mask. And it's
Another
that
contested
man.
mark.
It's that man we're talking about, Patrick Dangerfield.
Danger's really standing up where it counts here.
Patrick
Late
Red,
in the first
They should
quarter.
re-sign him.
Patrick Red pass, kicks it forward, but he can only find Joel Hamling, who I don't think we've seen in a couple of quarters, but we have seen Lockie Hunter. I feel like he's had plenty of the pill. Gets it to Mitch Wallace, who goes to change to the outer wing, change directions. Dullhouse can't take the mark, but he legs
Bob Murphy.
David McKay.
Down the middle. Look at them go.
And all of a sudden, straight through the high diddle go the Western Bulldogs, and they're out here.
Oh, that's a terrible hand pass.
One
Put
handball too many.
Cramery under pressure. That hand pass, and he's wrapped up inside forward 50. The umpire's going to ball it up though, and they'll have a stoppage in a pretty nice position.
Now there's
inside their forward 50.
There's a man who wishes he could have another go at this game. Cramery's kicked 2 goals 5 tonight.
Sloan gets the hand pass out. Only 2 minutes left.
Tell you what, you feel like something big is just on the cards here. Something's
Riley
on the
Knight.
way.
Finds Tex. Tex has got the ball on the wing.
Down the wing.
Couple of bounces. Will he go all the way and go for home? Turns. Kicks.
What?
Where's he gone? Charlie Cameron!
But where did he come from?
He's woken up from his nap.
He's just come off the bench, I reckon, from copping that one earlier. Charlie Cameron, he could just about seal this here for the Crows. With a minute and 40 seconds to go.
Taylor Walker. He's just walked up to his pet bulldog and he's gone, "What's that in your mouth? What's that in your mouth?" He's wrestled out of his mouth. Turned out, Ray, it was victory.
That was obscure. So in
I was
comes
wondering where
Charlie Cameron. Charlie Cameron puts it through the middle.
It's a 2-score game with a minute 20 to go. Now, I don't want to curse anything.
Then don't say it.
No, you know what? Fuck it, I'm going to say it anyway. I reckon the Crows are home from here.
I reckon we win from here. That was big by Charlie Cameron. The kick from Riley Knight, as we see the replay, hits Tex in space. Tex assesses the situation well. A couple of bounces down the wing. You thought he was going to the top of the goal square where he had all the space and Jenkins, but pulled it back and found Charlie Cameron.
Never go to Jenkins.
Never go to safer option.
Now, I don't, this
and
could
nice
be,
celebration.
Yes, this could be one of the biggest Creamies calls of all times if it doesn't come off. But yes, I think the Crows are home. I'm going to put my cojones on the line.
You heard it here first, folks.
So we have a ball up in the middle. The Dogs fighting tooth and nail to try and win this game. Only goes as far as Cameron, who hacks it out of the air. It lands in front of Sloan, who can't quite take the mark, and it's taken across the boundary line. We have a minute and 6 left. The Crows lead by 7. Dogs desperate for anything now. They need a couple of quick scores.
I think the Bulldogs have been all over him in tackles and clearances tonight. It wouldn't surprise me if Luke Beveridge comes out trying to clutch at straws after this game if they can't get up.
Indeed, so attack forward for the Bulldogs. This could be their chance. They can't get through to Bontempelli. Talia puts it forward. The Crows look to ice this one. There's under a minute left now. We head forward towards Jenkins, who can't quite take it. Thompson tackles Morris, but he gets a handball to that man Murphy out the back. Slams it in the air. Falls towards Laird, but he can't take it, and Caleb Daniel runs it across the boundary. And that could just about do it, I think. The Dogs will do well from here.
Didn't Rory get up then, though? That was a big jump from the flag under scoreboard.
Buckles me every time. And so, ball in. 38 seconds to go. Sam Jacobs onto it. Hacks it forward. Should bounce inside the line. It does. And we'll have a secondary ball in.
As the Mexican wave rips through the Arkabar.
I'm never going to be able to look at Rory Laird the same again. It could be 2023, and all I'll think whenever he gets the pill is those 2 words.
Lin Jong over it. Gets to Pickin. Pickin will run, kick it inside 50. They need to move quick now, the Dogs. Back on it was Riley Knight. He's been courageous all night, but Bontempelli, he's missed everything, but he's had a shot on goal here. Hunter runs back with it. Good tackle there by Charlie Cameron.
Throw.
Eddie Betts is back there. Brodie Smith's back there, and Brodie Smith clears the kick. 2 seconds to go. We're about to hear the siren go. There it is. Crows win. 14 goals, 18-102. The Bulldogs defeated by the Adelaide Crows, 16-13-109.
So it's the Crows that'll go through and play Hawthorn next week.
Jakey still manages to get on the camera.
How do we reckon the hamstring's feeling?
Here's hoping next week's Crows game isn't as close, because I can tell you I had a bit of a heart attack towards the end there.
So quick around the table, who are we going with for best on for this game? We had Eddie Betts with 5. We had Rory Sloan everywhere.
I mean, I Riley Knight, maybe a bit of a sneaky shout, honestly, but I think you'd be hard-pressed not to go with one of those 2, Rory Sloan. Taylor Walker makes a good case too, I would have thought.
Yeah, I reckon Walker, the big moments, kick those important goals from 50, and obviously the big setup.
I would have thought Henderson would be a decent chance for best on. Had 29 and kicked a goal, in that clutch goal late in the last quarter. So definitely played himself a great game. As we see Lingy having a chat with Tex, a great game from him. 16 touches, 3 goals, 2, including 2 very clutch goals from outside 50.
Also the kick inside to Cameron to seal the game.
Yep.
Clever work by the captain.
This is why key forwards that are good field kicks are worth their weight in gold.
Absolutely.
It's not necessarily just kicking for goal. If you can hit a target around the ground, it means that you don't have to stay at home the whole time. Same with ruckman.
There was a few blokes there shaking hands. Fettuccine just walking up to Mr. Bob Murphy and saying, "Mate, do you want to learn how to play footy from me? I've got a few tips for you."
I think Sam Jacobs also had a really good game.
Yep.
Yeah, he did. Yep.
So,
as I just hit puberty, as I said that.
it's got to break sooner or later, mate.
It's muzzle tough.
So,
and a small shout out to the one last time, just to say it, to the Flaganda Scrivo.
He was good.
He was good. He was. Puts his head over the footy.
Comes with a tricky little Allen key, but
and
he's fine.
Yeah. And congratulations to Scott Camporelli, who gets a win in his first final as coach.
Big season for the Crows.
Yeah.
Emotional season.
Yep.
And capped off with a big finals win.
Absolutely.
Amazing win after the season they've had. The old coach will be proud.
Having said that, commiserations to the Bulldogs. You can't help but think that they'll be here again next year.
Oh, yeah. I have a feeling they'll be really good next year.
Yeah. And they could very well be around the mark. Who knows? Sometimes losing a final, it's been proven it can drive you to go one better next year. So I'm sure they'll regroup.
Absolutely.
As Lingy trying to infiltrate a bit of Geelong on Dangerfield. But I'm sure he'll sign a contract soon.
Yeah.
25 disposals, 13 contested. That man really stood
That
up where he
surprises
counted.
me.
It does, doesn't it? But I think a lot of that came late in the game. Someone called it and said, really late in the game now, Dangerfield's doing everything he needs to do.
Yeah, he was quite early, but I think he racked up a couple of junk disposals early that helped him get to the 25. But
Stat patter.
Rory
Bloody
Sloan,
stat
massive. The super sub, David McKay, was also outstanding.
Mm-hmm.
You can't underestimate those sub changes.
No.
Knowing exactly when to bring him on is, it's a massive thing in footy.
I think they really should have subbed Rory Atkins before the game, though.
You know what? That's not a bad call.
No. As we rotate the strike in the commentary for maybe one last time, before we hand over to the great man, I think it should be acknowledged, and I think everyone in the room should pay a bit of respect to the Mr. Peter Sirocco for putting tonight on, lugging stuff out of his car since about 2:45 this afternoon to put on an event here at the Archibald. Well done, Pete.
Yeah, I did things. Hey.
We should also thank someone who's unheralded here in the room. I can't even see him. Where has he gone?
I think he's disappeared. You're talking about the man behind the pots and pans.
Talking about the man behind the pots and pans, Mr. Cromchad, Mr.
Yeah, Connor as well. No, thank you so much, Connor. I know Connor will be listening in too. Connor did a fantastic job on the stream as well. But been good, eh?
Pretty good, eh?
Very emotional win as well with everything that happened in 2015 too, but we'll be definitely doing more of these live game recalls too. But thank you so much to our sponsors in Trojan Aluminium, Nathaniel's Coffee and Panini, and of course we need to give a huge round of applause to our amazing Patreons too, which is you guys. No, honestly, you guys are the wind beneath our wings. We don't have lots of wings, so there's lots of wind.
But lots of wind.
Yeah,
and
lots
also
of wind.
thank you to the Archibald Hotel for hosting
Absolutely, and thank you to the Hurley Group too.
Yep. And the sponsors.
Wrong one.
Thank you.
Okay.
Trojan Aluminium.
Flag that.
Can we edit that?
Shout
We
out
can
to our
edit that.
sponsors, Trojan Aluminium and Nathaniel's Coffee and Panini.
That's the one.
That's another edit for Leighton. Thank you so much to Leighton as well, who's going to be editing this soon. Yay. We're clapping everything. Yeah, we're going to clap all the time. No, honestly, thank you so much, guys. And go Crom.
Go Crom.
Go Cross.